Christi Originals podcast. Today we got Wendell Williams. What's up, Wendell?
How we doing? What's going on, Jesus? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you, man. This is really cool. I'm so it was really laid back, not crazy wild. I like this atmosphere.
That's cool. Yeah. Shout out to the Artisan. We're here at the Artisan. I'm not sure the address out, but I'll put it on somewhere on the page or
218 North Chaparral.
There we go. That's what's up. 218 North Chaparral. Wendell Williams. Caught the pass on that one. Appreciate you, bro. So we obviously I've know you through the comedy scene,
right?
And even before that, I think you were commenting on my stuff, on the stuff on Facebook and stuff like that, which was pretty cool. And then I met you. I was like, oh yeah, I got to get him on.
Yeah,
just to get some of that old school knowledge on here. You know what I mean?
A little bit, and thinking about me, I only talk about what I have actually experienced.
Yes.
And my time on this earth has been something else, and I'm just enjoying it. I'm a homer here. I call Corpus Christi my house.
Yes, sir.
Being born and raised here in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I'm just loving every minute of it. And I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Putting me on. I'm enjoying this right now because it's really laid back. I'm in a good mood.
No, really cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man. I wish I would have got us a drink before we started, man.
Well, that's all right. I had one at the Lazy Beach.
That's what's up, bro. And then obviously when I think of you now at this moment, I'm thinking of Hillcrest because you told me you grew up in that neighborhood.
Yeah. I still live there. I still reside there.
Still live there, doesn't it? There was somebody commented on our stuff like you should get somebody from Hillcrest, and then you were like, I'm from Hillcrest.
Yeah.
So I guess with our viewers here, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on with Hillcrest at the moment.
There has been going on when actually, the first 18 years of my life was right here. Mm-hmm. I graduated from Miller in 1974. And point being is, for years back then, from 1960 to 1973, before there was Flint Hills, Valero, and Citgo, there was Southwestern Refinery, Hess Oil Company, PP&G, and American Smelting. Mm-hmm. And you always had that sulfuric smell of rotten egg every day.
Wow.
And it came over every day, man. It was really bad. People had respiratory problems, and they had a tank that leaked for 13 years. And they really didn't tell anybody, and right now with the water crisis, how they in the desal plant, they tell me, we don't want to kill the fish and the brine, it's going to mess up. Well, they didn't care about the fruit of life that was actually going on in Hillcrest.
Oh, sure.
When I mean the fruit of life, I'm talking like palm trees. In my own backyard, I had an orange tree, grapefruit tree, tangerine tree, pomegranate tree, peach tree, loquat tree. Even had honeysuckles with hummingbirds, and the bumblebees would come to pollinate, and it was a really good sight. But now, when they killed that out, and when I say they, I'm talking about the refineries.
Okay.
It wasn't the citizens of Corpus or the residents of Hillcrest.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came back in 2004, they want to say that we want to turn Hillcrest into a HIP. There was an industrial park. And it would have been good. It could have been Hillcrest, made it hip. Hillcrest Industrial Park. Mm-hmm. They didn't do it. They fell off. Why? Because they didn't want to give up that money. Now, having said that, in the early 60s, before there was Google or email, they sent residents letters out to the white residents, you need to move out because the land has been contaminated.
Oh.
They didn't do that to the blacks and the Mexicans that was there. And some people who knew, they stayed. And when things came about, it made it bad for everybody. And it was just a little bit too late. And people that was in charge that had the money didn't want to, everybody want to pay, but they don't want to pay. Mm. Meaning that they don't want to give for you to move out to somewhere to get a better foundation. It would become a blessing. Mm-hmm. So things have just gotten worse. And now it's just like sugarcoated. Why you want to try to build a pool there on north side there, and you have a water crisis now. And this could have been all avoided decades ago.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people from this and this and that. They could do it, they just don't want to spend the money because that's what I got. I've been in situations, because Dick Bowers, he's one, I'm going to put his name out there because he said it, from the Port Commissioners. He stated that Hillcrest is a wasteland. Well, who turned it into a wasteland?
Oh, shoot.
Because I remember the days I lived on Stillman, 1400 block of Stillman. See, I would travel north, all the way to Broadway. You go on the other side of the basin, right next to the Coast Guard station. Mm-hmm. You could fish, man, catching drum, flounder, sheephead, croaker, trout, and even little ribbon fish. And then after I would catch my little 3 or 4, I'd go ahead and start wanting to get the big blue crabs.
Oh, sure.
And so then they stopped that out. Oh, we don't want you to fish because of the oil spills.
Oh.
Oh, yes. And so things are really crazy, about how things are today. They don't want to tell you the truth because they don't want to pay. They tell me, oh, it's a need-to-know basis. And it's sad how things are. That's the reason why they're having shortcomings today. What was the first thing they said when they said they was going to build this new cable suspension heart bridge? It was going to bring in more larger vessels for petroleum and cargo.
Right.
Well, okay. When has that been happening since then? How much money is going on? If you was already doing so many million barrels a day, what are you doing right now? They're not going to tell you the numbers.
No.
Because they said it will cost too much money. Why you think North Beach hasn't been built up? Because the sludge that's on that side, that they can't do anything, it will cost a lot of money. Well, y'all messed it up, clean it up. That's how I look at it, man. I'm serious with it. They don't want to listen to that, and it's sad how things are these days. So, hey, stand by for heavy roads. They didn't care. Why should I care? And I'm just telling the truth. I'm not mad about anything. I'm just being very honest.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, for sure. It makes me think about, where are the residents from there going to go? It seems like I'm thinking like, what are the Hillcrest residents like holding on to?
Let me put it to you this way.
You know what I mean?
Yes, and now at one time you had over 430 some odd homeowners in Hillcrest at one time. Now I know it's under 100, and then that's including Northside. Those probably have property, not actually own anything. You got the Elliott Grant homes. Those people don't own those homes, and that goes to somebody. You got those little Regency Square Tom homes, Hell's Acres, that's in that area, and that's it. That's it, And it's sad because when I first moved back, I tried to tell my mom. I said, Mom, you and your kin folks have been in this area for 50 years plus. Build a coalition, get you a black lawyer. Let's go over the details. I'll help you with it. Because once they put them stipulations on you, it's nothing you can do. Well, they didn't hear what I had to say. And so it is what it has become. People ask me, what number you want? I want $2.25 million, tax-free. Because where else can you go to try to get assured, well, that's too much. I don't want market value. We are in 2026.
Oh, wow.
And so it doesn't matter what you think. You already know how much money you're going to make. That's be a blessing to people. But since you don't want to give blessings, you're going to have shortcomings. And that's what's going on right now.
Oh, wow.
Seriously. Yeah, because they always say, what, we're going to run out of water in 2027? That's what they say. I don't know. I don't know who's calculating the water. Okay. You're taxing people because if they over a certain amount a month now, you're taxing them.
Right.
And you charge them up to $500 per day per violation.
Damn.
That's crazy wild. It doesn't, and it's crazy. It's already with the streets, but once again, everybody want to play, but not everybody want to pay, and that's how it is today.
So you guys are asking for fairness, I guess you can say.
Well, yes, fairness, and just do the right thing because it's really hard just to try to get up and move. Nothing is brand new. I wish I need repairs to my foundation, and it's nothing is cheap.
Yeah.
It's just like, for me personally, as far I know people are going to flip out on this, but I've already called 811. You know what 811 is? That's where you got to dig in the back because I'm not going to go out and get no plot man or no cemetery because I don't know those people in there.
Oh, sure.
So my point being is that I'll just bury me in the back, dig a hole.
Dig up somebody's animals or something, bro.
It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy.
Man, that's wild. Yeah. I've always been interested in what's going on. I talked to some guy on the bus a while back, like a few months ago. He's like, Hillcrest used to be like, cops wouldn't even want to go in there. And I was like, man, that's pretty wild. That's like 90s stuff.
Yeah, that's understandable. I used to drive a cab. When I got out the military cab, I got in the cab business, transportation business. With Pinky Tab back in the day. We had Northside running and a lot of things were going on just over the city. And Corpus Christi isn't that big. You actually drive around it in 25 to 30 minutes, in a big circle.
Yeah.
It's just a big loop. The only thing that stays, you got that, is it still the Gulf of Mexico or is it the Gulf of America now? I don't know. But just to go out and things that's been happening on the island, which the North Padre is the last underdeveloped, beach in the United States.
Seriously?
Yes. And that's crazy wild because I've been other places really nice. Now, South Padre Island is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't let the kids have a good, here, man, they're going to get you.
Ooh.
And so a lot of things that they have done to make it good and to make it bad. And, it's heartfelt when you know things that happen. But once again, if you don't have numbers and people and you don't have the resources as in money, there's nothing you can really do.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it's crazy wild.
Wow. So I'm just thinking like, where you guys gonna go? Like, do you think they're actually gonna build stuff out there and eventually y'all will be out of there?
Only thing they're trying to build now is that little softball field that they're trying to do right before you get to it's on the west side of the new bridge, and they're trying to put like bring back the T-Series pool because Maine. Actually, they had the little projects which molded and things that they had in lead that was bad. They knew these things, man. You can knock it down and build it back up. They want to try to call Texas, which you're going to Texas Riviera. When you not see that little river, there's nothing that's going to go on there. Yeah. They're not doing anything really. They said it's for the community. What community? Go ahead and say you want to build your 170-room hotel there and put some nice little restaurants because what they call the area downtown, the C District, Sports, Entertainment, and Arts District.
Right.
But it's to me like sugarcoating, and y'all just screwing off money, man. You could have put that money in, gave the people, and let us all move out, graciously.
Yeah.
It was a buyout thing, but it was more like voluntary. Unless you was in intimate domain where the bridge was coming right over your property, what they had to do, then you had to go. Other than that, no. Because HUD, the city of Corpus Christi, Port of Corpus Christi, and they all made money. And the state, they all made money. Not everybody made money. People who did voluntarily move out, they didn't get the deal that they thought they was going to get.
Oh, shoot,
and it's sad. It's sad. So people are upset, and all these meetings, to me, it's like protocol. We have these meetings and say, well, we did let them know. But they don't have the numbers to offset anything. And that's it. Because somebody been pocketing money. Because if a company that's been paying that make billions of dollars or hundreds and millions of dollars and they don't pay any taxes for 10 to 15 or 20 years, where's that money going? That's a kickback. More offshore bank accounts have risen dramatically within the last 3 years than anything. Think about that. Wow. We got to put 5 bands, which is $5,000 minimum, into an offshore bank account. So I know it's some people, even in Corpus Christi, that have got them an offshore bank account. So please, I'm trying to be disrespectful. I'm just telling the truth.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is. And you grew up like in what you say, the 60s, like even
I was born in 55.
That.
I was born in 55, so things come up. I've seen a lot of things that accumulate to, and at level 5, level 2 is age. That's when I started. Then people say woke, started experiencing things that's going on.
Okay.
What was going on, what was happening, and I would ask questions. My dad was an Army Korean War veteran. He was a Mason. He was not a steel worker, union working guy.
Yeah.
And his side hustle was upholstery.
Oh.
He did upholstery. Some people that's there on Ocean Drive sitting on my dad's stuff right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so that's a good thing. My mom was a seamstress. And so I come from that family because I was adopted. I wasn't, never met my biological parents or mom, what have you, but the people that God put in my life helped me. That's the reason why I am the way today. But I didn't find out till in 2012, man, and that I was adopted. My mother told me, and my dad took it to his grave in 99. He took it to his grave. I know he wanted to tell me sometimes. My mom told me in 2018. 2012, excuse me, she passed in 2018.
Yeah.
And so I just took it as a grain of salt, man. And it's really crazy. And see, people who knew back then, I had a friend of mine, a classmate. He says, man, I knew, but if I had to tell you, I would have got a whooping. I said, well, that's one whooping you should have took. Now I don't mess with, I really don't play one of them today because it's kind of, I'm not a wishy-washy person, man. I just like to tell the truth and let's move on about it. I'm not saying I've always told the truth, but I know a lot catch up with you really quick.
Oh my God, dude! Wow.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So you and then you mentioned like Jim Crow, like you experienced all that stuff.
Oh, all of that. And I can understand why some people said that integration really hurt. Because you look at the schools when they, like Solomon Coves and Booker T. Washington were no longer here. Crosby Elementary is sad about that. That's the elementary school I went to. They need to tear that down in Hillcrest area. Why are they holding on to that? That's an eyesore. It's just like the county courthouse. That's the old county courthouse.
You're right.
That's an eyesore, and it's like, what are you doing with it? And some people got money tied up. Please. Please. It's just too much of the rhetoric of putting the blame game on somebody else.
Damn.
You know how things are. So it's really sad, man. It's nothing I can really do but speak my voice and opinion about it. It's just like now, Mary, I ain't got nothing against you, but you just stated that, you're trying to get back federal dollars. What happened to the federal dollars you had? Okay? So I'm trying to get back. Shouldn't have made that statement. Should have had somebody to proofread her statement.
What are you talking about?
Well, the mayor.
The mayor.
Mayor today.
Okay.
She stated that she's in the process of getting back federal dollars for the city of Corpus Christi.
Getting back?
Yeah, getting back. It's right there. Yeah, getting back. Well, what happened to the dollars that you did have?
We already did have. Right.
There you go. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Crazy. She made that statement, and I'm calling her out on it. I have nothing against her. It's that, you're a female that got caught up in the man's world, them good old boys. That's in them good old boys world, man, and things are really crazy. And I know I'm trying to go off the subject a little bit.
Go ahead.
But I want you to know in 2015, man, I got hit by a car. What really changed in 2015, June 15th.
That's why?
June 15th,
wow.
2015. I got hit at Arizona McCardle, man.
Oh.
By this car. I was going across the street. I had the right of way. This guy was traveling southbound on Ayers, went in the northbound lane, missed all those cars at the light, and right there, Rosie Tamales right there. Arizona McCardle tattooed me, man. And that was crazy wild. And that actually changed my life. It did. It did. More ways than one. And because at that time when I got hit, 4 other people had got hit by DUI or DWI, and they passed away.
Oh.
So I'm like 1 out of 5. So I'm very blessed and grateful and thankful every day.
Oh, yeah.
When I post that, that's what I mean by that, man.
Wow, man.
It's kind of things. I was in the hospital and rehab for 40 days and 40 nights.
Oh, man.
40 days and 40 nights, man. I had an out-of-body experience. So a lot of things that happened, this makes who I am today.
Yeah. Yeah, is that part of the reason why you got into comedy, or?
Yeah, well, in 2017, I got into it. I always did a lot of writing. I've always liked comedy and things like that because I've been with the Corpus Christi Hooks for 3 to 14th season. And it's 2 places that you should go to that help you out. And one is the ballpark. That's my sanctuary. Comedy, it inspires me.
Wow.
And I love music. That's who's the beast in me. So that's my mindset on things right now. And it helps me a lot for what I do. And even at my level, which is age, I have no animosity against anybody. I'm just going to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people lack that. And I can see how things are today with music, how things are, and people get so crazy, young people going crazy or crazier. They're chaotic, because you ask me how to feel about a lot of the young comedians. A lot of them do good. They need a little help, and just try to talk to them, let them know, hey, you can do what you want to do. I'm still here.
Yeah.
And even though it's a different time and different era, I understand that.
Oh, wow.
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy wild, as I like to say.
Yeah, crazy wild, bro, for sure. And it seems like you draw from a lot of your experience when coming up with jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
And truth, like I
look at it as, I try to be a storyteller. I first base it off as the acronym man, meaning I like to take letters and words that have somewhat of a negative attitude and put a positive twist.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's where I came up with that, and just to make me feel good, because I always do something I want to do. I'm not a follower. I'm more of a leader, and I lead by example. Mm-hmm. But I learn something new every day. At least I want to. Mm. And it just holds true about how life is, man. I'm not a hater. I don't believe that, because H-A-T-E, and I put another E at the end, Jesus. That's a hideous attitude towards everybody and everything. I don't make time for it because that creates stress.
Yeah.
And I sleep good at night, man. I tell you that. I sleep good at night. I sleep good at night, man. And I see how things are. And, I have 3 kids, 9 grandkids, 2 great-grandkids. That's it. I'm blessed in so many ways and reunited with my kids back 20-plus years ago. So that has helped me overcome a lot of obstacles in my life.
Wow.
And I was bitter. And I've never had, let's say, I've had various of jobs. I'm like a jack of many trades, but I am definitely the master of manure. And I am, man. And I don't mind. It's all good, Well, I don't want to hate on them. I want to learn and see what you got. Can you teach me? I can teach you.
Yeah.
And you write in my stand-up a lot of things. I haven't even broke the surface on some things about on the comedy level. Because tomorrow night, at Mesquite Street, and we're chopping up. I'm downtown. And Friday night at the Lazy Beach with some really cool peeps. Bobby Pena, Mark Bettis, Tim Boudreau, Skip Pettit, Ana J. Ramirez. You talking about DEI. That's all of that's going to be right there Friday night, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a lot of other things that's going to Ralph Barbosa be in town Friday night. The Willow venue out in Portland with Shecky J. And at the Nino, they're kicking it off. So it's all about doing what
we're doing our thing down here, bro.
Yeah, the comedy in the 361 is bumping, man.
Oh, dope.
Tina LaQuicina has been bossing it up, and people been feeding off to that, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I give a lot of shout out. I want to give a shout out to Javi Luna, man. He's the one.
Shout out.
I really like his game. Him, Sean Miller, Andy Gomez are probably my favorite comedians that I like.
Wow.
Because really, if you make me laugh, you're funny. That's how I look at it.
Of course.
And I look at the other things going on, and the females, I encourage more females to come out and chop it up.
Yeah.
Rafa the Barbara, Anna J., Corinne the Artist, Mary the Gamer, and it holds Jen Del Rio. So just come out and do you. And the people that are starting in the game, just slow your roll, though. Don't expect nothing overnight, And if you can stick your hand in your toilet and turn it into gold or whatever it is, and drink from that, then you're good. Other than that, don't worry about it so much. Oh, woe is me. Woe is you.
Yeah, bro. Wow, that's good advice. Yeah.
You look at a lot of things, especially your family, man. You have kids, right?
Yes, sir.
And you want to try to do the best you can for them and your wife, because a lot of times I talk on that process about family and religion, how things are. It's what you deal with every day. What you deal with every day. And that's what's going to make you become a better person. Always have that open mind, being humble, realizing you can learn something new every day, man.
Yes, sir.
And if you think you know it all, okay, then go change that light bulb there on the Harbor Bridge. Let me know how that turns out. Or better yet, this is my favorite saying now. Go ahead and suck a doorknob and use it for a butt plug. Some people, hey, man, it's kind of,
how do you feel about clean comedy? Because I know a lot of stuff, your stuff is your stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I like clean. I can do clean. I've done clean. I can do it. Just let me know what the atmosphere, whatever you want. I just go read the room, Right. I look at it personally now. I've been like, when you're in a good old boy, all white crowd, I'm the only black sheep in there. I got them rolling and laughing.
Oh, wow. So, that's my phone. It's all right.
That's how I look at it. You just do you, man. I got clean if you want clean. And people say, like anything else, well, it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
I got clean, and people that do really good. Nate Bargatze is really clean. Lito Cortez here, Trey Amigos, the guys that got that clean.
Yes, sir.
Whatever the room calls for, I got you.
Nice.
And, like I tell, I'm not from Missouri, but I can show you what I can tell you. Give me that chance. People ask how much time you got, how much time you want to give me.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's it. I am a confident person. I'm an older guy, man, and I try my best not to sweat the load. I stay in my lane on cruise control, and my turn signals do work. You asked me earlier if I'm in the dating scene. No, I do interviews now. I do interviews, man.
What's the difference, Wendell?
The difference is I can't go down there and get you out of our spot. We go hang out on shoreline and have that, or get a cold winter, or dressed up Corona and have a good conversation. Why I want to take you to the Texas Republic for it, you know? I can cook. Can you cook?
Oh, shoot.
Now, it's a lot of things I love and need and want from a woman, but cooking is not one of them. You know, it's an added plus. You know, just be respectful. I'm very respectful of women. You know, I ain't no simp. I can tell I'm not a simp. No, I'm a soul. I'm not a simp, man.
Wow.
It's just about respect, man, personally to me. And then if women, you know, kind of, you know, red flags, if you talking about red flags, green flags, well, don't bring no flags, man. Just come be yourself. What I don't want you to do is lie to me, because when I peak game on that, I'm gone. Because to me, if you do something once, you will not hesitate to do it again. So why should I take that chance?
Take the chance.
Take that chance, man. It's up to you. Life is full of chances, bro.
Wow, bro. Man, that's a lot of wisdom right there, Wendell.
Well, you know, I look at it that at times my dad really helped me, because when I was growing up, he always told me you have one strike against you, and that was the color of your skin.
Oh.
I didn't know what he meant until I got in the real world and saw how people that were non-black, but they wouldn't even call my name. They wouldn't use the N-word. And so I'm not a big fan of the N-word. You see me, I don't use the N-word in my stand-up, but I got an acronym for it, though. And I try to take that negative vibe. It's just like the VITCH. I know women, and when I ran this by my mom the first time, I ran it by there, she's like, her eyes were like, because that means a female dog on the score. No, that's beautiful, intelligent, tenacious, charming, and fearless woman. Take that and flip that negative stuff. And I can't, I'm not going to give you my acronym for witch. Oh, no, I don't hear them, man. They'll shut you down. But think about that for a minute, y'all, if y'all ever hear that, WITCH. But my point is trying to take a negative vibe and put a positive twist on it.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And for those who say, well, let me hear your acronym for the N-word. Okay, I'm naughty, I'm innovative, I have a gift, I got the gab, I'm entertaining, and I'm definitely a romantic. Yeah, I'm that N-word with the hard ER.
Wow, bro.
Okay, y'all dealing now with people, because now I'm coming out with colonizers. That's the C with the hard ER. Colonizers, it's coming soon. Stand by. Some people don't like that. I looked it up and said, oh, that's so derogatory. Oh, well, deal with it accordingly. It's okay. Don't get in your feelings. There's a lot of things I haven't liked in life.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's right. The C with the hard ER. Colonizer. Like Budweiser. Why not? Let's make fun. You want to joke? Let's joke.
Yes,
you got a jokey joke? Can you take my jokey joke?
Oh, wow.
Because I have very few jokes, man. But what I do have is a duffel bag full of acronyms and comebacks.
Oh, shoot.
It's just like you've been, when they had the Helker Room, sometimes at the House of Rock, they started.
I heard of it. Yeah.
Well, you know, just like last night when people, I don't want nobody heckling nobody. I told them, hey, start off with me, heckle me. You know, this is the Heckle Room. And can you really get heckled? Some people can't really take it. And it all depends. The thing is, bring it to me. Let's bring it. Let's get it on out.
Let's work on it.
Yeah. Say what's on your mind. Get it off your chest.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is, without stepping, or what they call crashing out now, stepping out of character, or like you want to fight because somebody upset you what they said.
Oh, wow.
That doesn't mean I'm going to give you the password for the N-word, you know, because I got colonizer now. So we're going to see how that works out, you know, and the recent, you know, period, the months to come, man. And I want you to know I do have a book I'm working on. It ought to be coming out in the fiscal year of 2027.
Nice.
Called Life.
You say fiscal year?
Fiscal year of 2027. There you go. You caught on to that. You know, called Life, L-I-F-E.
L-I-F-E.
Living in future expectations. Now, when your expectations have been met or haven't been met, then it turns into, I call requirements. Some people have boundaries and morals. I got requirements. Therefore, I'm a L-I-F-E-R. I'm a lifer.
Nah, cool.
And I just keep it like that. To me, it's simple, man.
Yeah.
I try to keep things simple as much as possible.
So, man, it seems like people, because I want to ask your age, but I don't want to be.
No. Well, I was born in 55, so do the math.
Yeah, so like people like from that age, like they chill, bro. Like, well, I mean,
basically, yeah.
and it seems like maybe because y'all have gone through so much life, you're like, you know what I mean?
You live your life. You're seeing a lot of things come up, and you know, I've been blessed to travel early in my life. I've traveled 6 continents, 44 out of the 50
Wow.
continents of the United States. Some places I've been to more than 3 times. And some places I never, ever want to go back to again. I got reasons for that, and I'm going to leave it at that. You're going to have to buy and read my book when it comes out in the 5th year of 2027, man, to see what happens.
Bye, folks. 2027 fiscal year. Don't forget that one.
The fiscal year, yeah. That's right.
That's
what does he mean by that? Google it.
Google that. I'm wanting to Google it right now, try to figure it out. That's cool. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on the show. So you have, you did a couple of things at like shows at Mesquite, like you opened up for Nate Jackson, right?
Yeah, Nate Jackson. I hosted that. Nate Jackson. I've been a couple of times, and I just like he works the crowd fantastic, and people that come there has Trenton Cotton, who does really good for him. That is his feature or opener, and he's a really good young man. You know, out of Seattle, man, and I like his presence. I like his art. He's doing really good. And I like comedians, man. Like I say, he know how to, rip people up, man. And there's a thing, too, when they have some shows, I don't want to sit close to the stage. Well, when your ticket says here, you got to sit here. I don't know what to tell you. Because he's going to pick on you. You know, he's going to get you. He's going to look at you. Be careful what you wear.
Yeah.
Anytime you hear Nate Jackson come to town, and you better make sure you zooted and booted or looking really good, because he's going to get you. He's going to get you. Ali Shadig will be here, I think, on the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool.
You know, he's really cool. I like him. I like a lot of Brad Williams is coming through here, the little person. Man, that's my little cousin, man. My little white cousin, we ain't hooked up. Yeah, I like him.
I notice you bring your camera sometimes and videotape it.
Yeah, I do. And I have Jeremy Wells. He's breaking down a lot of for me, and I posted some.
Cool. Yeah. I've seen it.
That. Well, for my clips. And that really has helped me because I get to watch myself. And I'm my own. Oh, wow. If I don't like it, I'll delete it, because not.
So you're using it mostly for content?
I use it for content, and I put out there how I feel, that's a good one. I'll leave it, I'll let it run with. I just have a little bit of Instagram, a lot of Facebook, and so, man, you ought to get on TikTok, and I'm old, man. All the excess and time, the things you got to, that's just me. I'm good in my place.
Yes.
And that's how I look at it. And other young people that constantly own it, and that's good. That's what social media is, because to me, social media is the gateway to feedback. What you post just might get spit out, whether it's good, bad, or ugly.
People are going to let you know.
To make you feel happy, mad, or sad. Deal with it accordingly, man. Don't get into your feelings, man. Or try not to anyway. I know some people can't help it, but yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's pretty cool. I was thinking about something, recording your set and then putting it out there. Oh, yeah, you're comfortable where you're at. You don't have to start a TikTok. And some people, Facebook is fine. Some people don't even have social media.
Yeah.
You feel like they don't need it,
Yeah, and that's good. And that's some people. Now, I don't have social media, and some people probably have had it, but they don't like it, because you hear some people attack people on there, and it's really bad when they got cyberbullying. And I've had it where I make a comment on something that might be a little tension, and people, they say things, I just go ahead and delete it. Don't worry about that.
You ain't got to worry about it.
Then I go to their profile who make that, and I look at it. Man, you don't have a picture. You don't have not saying anything. Delete, block. Why
block.
Not? Well, why I got to have you on here talking about stuff and you don't even have your face on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of lame to me, but you got to, like I say, deal with it accordingly, man.
Yeah.
Get into your feelings. It's okay.
Yeah. So being that you're born in the 50s, man, how do you look at, you know what I mean? Like later on, do you do that, or you just? I see your posts, like you put like today's the Lord made. And I'm like, damn, that's.
I look at it. This is not a drill.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord, for another truly blessed, grateful, and thankful day. That comes when I got hit 10 years ago with the car, because I could have been gone, man. I could have been in a wheelchair. I could have been a paraplegic. You know, a worst case scenario death. So I look at that as you got to stay humble for what it's worth. Then all the effort. I'm going through a lot of pain, and God told me it was going to happen. And he said, you're going to go through this, but you get over it. He said, I got faith in you. And so that's how my faith is very strong about a lot of things. You know, it's not negative. It's always positive. And I understand nothing's going to go your way.
Yeah.
Just got to have patience. And young people, you got to have patience.
Like, I take that as like, it's not always going to go your way. Sometimes it will, but you have to be prepared either way.
Yeah, either way. You think it's going good and bam.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, something can come up. It doesn't matter what it is, man. It could be something that you think is very minute, but it has happened. You know, or it can trigger people, or people have something to say. Everybody, look at it. You know, Jesus, as human beings, we all have an opinion. And we all have a butthole. And at times it's going to stink, man. So we're going to have to deal with that too.
Yeah.
You know? So it's really crazy wild right now.
Yeah, for sure, man. It makes you think about humanity.
Yeah.
Community and humanity. Like kind of, like we're having community right now, just talking. And just the importance of having that in wherever you're at. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it could not be there, or like we can be on this so much.
Yes.
Where we're not doing this.
Yeah. And the thing about it is when you come with things, how you feel honestly about anything. Because to me, as a person, you feel it's worthwhile to bring somebody on your podcast to talk about how they feel. And then you reap off of that into whatever things that you do in your everyday life with your family, with your co-workers, and anything here, the artists, and for things that you're doing, people you go out and about, things you got to do. And that's just how it is, man.
Yeah. For sure, Wendell. Man, is there anything you would like to share before we wrap it up in a few minutes?
Well, you know, all I want is just for people to be themselves. Be true and real with yourself, man. You know, I like for people to be more understanding. You can't help everybody. Everybody is not your friend either, okay? You got to really squeeze it over, because the way I look at it, I think it's safe to say that we all have family, friends, and loved ones that have passed away. And in my personal experience, they haven't came back to tell me anything different about anything.
No.
So you got to keep doing what you're doing without disrespecting people. Now, if somebody disrespect you, disrespect them back. Or walk away. Sometimes it's best just to leave things alone. Because I'm a firm believer, man, that, you know, karma is a bitch. Death is her sister. And I found out over about a decade ago, I'm their adopted brother. So I put things in perspective. You know, I'm not going to hate on you unless you try to hate on me.
Damn.
That's it, man. And I just appreciate this time and effort, and I'm really good with this. And I hope people that listen to your podcast and feel about a lot of things, because at this point, I tell my kids and grandkids, I don't have your DNA, you have mine. And they tell me, there's nothing they could say. They can't say anything. And as in retrospect, I don't have any aunts or uncles, blood, you know. I have people that are like family, friends, you put them in your life and stuff like that, but no blood. And I just leave it at that. I'm not bitter about it, just telling the truth.
Yeah.
I try to be, but hey, some things you gotta let go, man.
Yes, sir. You gotta let it go. Gotta live life, man. It's gonna go on. It's like it'll go whether you like it or not.
Yeah, that's it. It's gonna continue to go whether you or not, brother. So, well, why you want to try to be mean and hateful because somebody did? I granted somebody did you wrong. You want to do somebody wrong, but in the long run, it's not going to benefit you because it's always in the back of your mind, messing with you. You know, you have all that sense and that bitterness in yourself, and it builds up, which in turn it causes stress with blood pressure. I'm
thinking like you can't take that on stage, can you? Or can you?
You can, but be ready for the repercussions. For the head, you can do that. You know, you can take that out, but it's how you put it out. It's how you put it out and how people perceive you. Because, you know, if people don't relate to what you're saying or they're not feeling you, then you're going to get a very negative response. And that's the thing about it. Because to me, you want people to laugh. You want them to understand. That's it, or make them think. I want you to laugh and think about what I said. And then at the end, when people come up to me, hey, man, I like your acronym, or that's really good. I like that. And it helps me. Now I try to go back. I write every day, man.
Yeah.
I put things and I just put in my memory back as much as I can, because there's so much stuff out there. I got loose marbles now.
Oh, shoot. Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Man, Wendell, thanks a lot for coming on the show, man. I'm trying to just wrap it up before they open up.
No problem.
So you got shows coming up?
Yeah, well, just doing open mic tomorrow night at Mesquite Street, downtown. There, Mesquite Street. Then Friday night, Lazy Beach, right here downtown. 8 p.m. it starts. Bobby Pena's the host. We got Ana J. Ramirez, he's the feature. You got Skip Pettit. You got Tim Boudreaux. You got Mark Pettis, I did say him. And is somebody I'm missing? Oh, no, that's it. All of them.
Yeah,
that's going to be, it's a good DEI, diverse, equity, and inclusion. And we'll have a good time, nice cold beers. And people will say, oh, I'm come see you. Well, I'll see you when I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I like when you say that, bro. It's awesome, man. Yeah, it's a good vibe out there. I went out there. It's a nice vibe. I really like it out there.
It is.
Anyways, thanks a lot, you guys. Thanks to the artisan for letting us use their joint for this recording here. But yeah, go follow Wendell. How do you follow you, Wendell? On
just on
Facebook, Instagram.
Just Facebook, little Instagram, Wendell Williams 13 on Instagram, and just Facebook. You just see my face, and Mr. Wendell. That's my handle on stage, and just go from there. Much love. I'll see you when I'm looking at you.
Yes, sir. Shout out. See y'all later. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Welcome back to Un-Shuck Yourself, powered by the Corpus Christi Originals Podcast Network. I'm Ben De Leon, and today I want to start this episode with a quote that stopped me in my tracks the first time I heard it. If you can't sit in a room alone for 20 minutes, you have a problem you haven't addressed yet. See, that blew my mind when I first heard it. Not because it's clever, but because of how true it actually is. We live in a world where silence has become almost impossible. The moment we wake up, we reach for our phones. We fill every empty moment with music, podcasts, television, social media, work, text messages, notifications, and endless distractions. And we become so accustomed to the noise that we mistake it for living. But what if all that noise isn't entertainment? What if it's camouflage? Here's something I've noticed. Most people don't fear being alone. They fear being alone with their thoughts. There's a difference. We can spend hours by ourselves scrolling through social media and never actually spend a single minute with ourselves. Because the moment the distractions stop, something starts speaking. Maybe it's regret, maybe it's grief, maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's a dream we've ignored for years. Maybe it's a relationship we know isn't working. Maybe it's the realization that we're living a life that doesn't resemble the one we once planned. Silence has a way of bringing those things to the surface, and that's exactly why so many people avoid it. Imagine your mind is like a lake. When the water is completely stirred up, you can't see what's beneath the surface. But when everything becomes still, clarity appears. The problem is that clarity isn't always comfortable. Sometimes we discover wounds we never healed. Sometimes we find fears we never confronted. Sometimes we realize we're exhausted from carrying things we convinced ourselves don't bother us. Noise keeps all of that hidden, and the stillness reveals it. And revelation is often mistaken for suffering. People say, every time I sit quietly, my mind races. And that's not because stillness created the problem. Stillness exposed it. The storm was already there. You just couldn't hear it over the noise. Most people think growth comes from learning more. I know I'm guilty of this. But sometimes growth comes from listening more. Listening to the voice you've been drowning out. The one that asks uncomfortable questions. The one that says, are you really happy? Is this what you really want? What are you avoiding? What are you afraid of? Those questions don't disappear because we ignore them. They simply wait patiently for a quiet moment. And when that moment finally arrives, many people panic and immediately reach for a distraction. Where's my phone? Turn on the television. I need a conversation. Anything to avoid the actual conversation happening inside their own mind. Here's the irony. The thing we're avoiding is often the very thing that could set us free. The grief you refuse to feel, the anger you refuse to acknowledge, the dream you refuse to pursue, the truth you refuse to admit. None of these things get smaller because we avoid them. They grow in the shadows. They influence our decisions, our relationships, and our happiness without us even realizing it. But once they're brought into the light, they become manageable. Not easy, manageable. That's why stillness requires courage. Because stillness doesn't distract, it reveals. So here's your challenge for the week. Sometime, find 20 minutes. No television, no phone, no podcasts, no distractions. Just you sit in a quiet room and listen. Not to the world, to yourself. Pay attention to what immediately surfaces. What thoughts keep returning? What feelings demand your attention? What truths have been waiting for you to acknowledge them? Don't judge them, don't fight them. Just notice them. Because awareness is where change begins. The goal isn't to become someone who enjoys silence. The goal is to become someone who no longer fears silence. Because the person you become in a quiet room is the person you really are. And if 20 minutes of stillness feels uncomfortable, that discomfort may be pointing towards something important, something unresolved, something waiting to be healed, something waiting to be understood. Remember, noise can entertain you, noise can distract you, noise can even comfort you, but only stillness can reveal you. And sometimes the most important conversation you'll ever have is the one that you happen to have when the world gets quiet. I'm Ben De Leon, and this has been Un-Shuck Yourself. Until next time.
Talk about the podcast a little bit, right? People ask me why I'm doing this. Basically, it's just want to get my voice fine-tuned, I guess that's what you want to say. The more you talk, the better you do on stage as a comic. So something I've been wanting to do for years. I've talked to Trey about this, about being on a podcast and like ran ideas by him. I run a lot of ideas through Trey. He's a good source of, I guess, information or something. He's my test dummy. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, so I've been wanting to do this forever. I like the whole. I started digging for a podcast name. The whole respond if you please. I think it fits well with a lot of stuff, right? Number one, the fact that I am a Christian, right, and I pray a lot. And praying is basically just talking to the Lord and hoping He sends you a response, right? Sometimes it's a response we want, sometimes it's a response we need. Sometimes that response isn't what we want, but it's usually in truth and love, right? So that was one reason, and then also because, like I said, on if you didn't catch the introduction podcast I did with Corpus Christi Originals, I just like aliens. It's fun. I think it's fun to believe and. Keeps my mind occupied, right? Looking for stuff and seeing stuff and just wondering what if there is, if there isn't, just keeping an open mind, open perspective to the fact that we are just, I honestly believe we are just visitors passing through, right? I believe that we are celestial beings in earth suits, however you want to put it. I mean, I believe that one day This body's going to rot away, and our soul or our inner man is going to go back home to where it's supposed to be.
So I had a comment yesterday in my TikTok page regarding being out of debt and getting out of debt, staying out of debt. The person was mentioning, like, be honest, you didn't buy the car cash or you didn't buy the house cash. And I bought my car cash. I've never bought any cars on debt, which is kind of strange because everybody does it, which is basically the point that the guy was making. He was saying, like, be honest, like, that's just how the world is. That's just, you borrow money for everything, right? And he's right. He's half right as far as me not buying my house cash. I didn't buy my house cash. And if you follow Dave Ramsey, which is the plan that we follow, or that we kind of semi-followed, he even says that he won't yell at you for not buying your house cash. He has these stipulations on how to buy a house. You don't have to have a credit score to buy a house. All this stuff that he teaches is it's totally different from the way the majority of people are doing it. He's saying, put more than 25% down, all this stuff. But I didn't pay for my house. I paid for my car. We paid for our car's cash. My wife and I. I'm supposed to include my wife in this. We didn't buy our house cash. But we did buy our car's cash. And in fact, we didn't even use a bank to buy the house from the owner. So it was just, we're paying the owner directly to pay the house off. And imagine having that kind of relationship nowadays. So yeah, and all that to say that, yeah, it might be true for a house, but for a car, come on. You make enough money to save up. Check this out. I recently had a wreck in my personal truck. We only went down to one car. Guess what I was doing while saving money for another car? Asking for rides, Uber, taking the bus from work home. And I did that for a total of probably 2 months, maybe 3 months. Or was it 6 months? I can't remember it, but it was like half a year at most. Took the bus, got rides to and from work, walked home from the bus. We could have easily said, you know what, screw it, let's just get a loan and get a car. But no. We were disciplined enough to be able to be like, okay, we got to save up this much cash to buy a used car. What, like $10,000 or something like that. We saved up from between 3 to 6 months. At the time, our emergency fund, we were restocking it up because we had to work on some stuff we had some emergencies we had to take care of. So we had to save up anyway, right? What do? We stopped eating out. We took lunches, or we both worked more so that we could get more, so we can save that money fast to get a new vehicle. And then that person could argue back, well, it's a used car, it's not a new car, la la la. There's always going to be somebody talking. Sadly enough. My point is, it's possible. You don't have to go into debt for a car. For a house, maybe, yeah. Do it smart. Get a 15-year fixed rate mortgage like Dave Ramsey says. I mean, I don't know. I didn't take his route as far as a mortgage. I was paying the owner. It was basically like rent to own. Me and the owner had a contract. We read a contract. It was notarized. At my wife and I, we had a contract with the owner, notarized, paid it off, paid cash every month, and we had extra money every month. Boom, boom, paid it off in less than 10 years. It was like 5 years, 6 years. I can't remember. It wasn't, but like 5 years. We paid off the house. Now we're debt free. There's total freedom financially from debt at all. We don't owe anything. We don't owe nothing, and it's amazing feeling to have to be out of debt because we're less stressed out. We're not worried about having to pay. Like one of us could lose our job, right? For whatever the reason, maybe there's layoffs, whatever. The turnaround's over, whatever. If that happens, we're in a spot to be like, fine. We're not having to scrounge around for the next month's payment because we don't have any payments. So we could lose our job through layoffs or whatever the company's doing. We could lose our job that way and be good for like a month or two while we could take our time in finding the next job because there's less stress in having to scrounge around and be afraid that we're not going to be able to make the payment for the car or the student loan payment or the house payment or whatever type of payment there is. If you're going, like while we were paying off the mortgage, we called it a mortgage even though it wasn't, while we were paying off the house, we had an emergency fund set aside in case something happens, in case one of us did get a layoff. You know, that's why we have an emergency fund in case something happens. Because something will happen. I mean, it's good. It feels good to have money in the bank. That's for sure. It feels good to have money in the bank. It feels good not to be called by creditors like, hey, you owe us money. You owe us this, that. Like, I mean, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to have. Anyway, let's see how long we go on. Maybe like 10 minutes or whatever. But yeah, that's all I got for today, you guys. Trying to figure out what else to talk about. If you guys have other topics you'd like me to talk about, I'd be more than happy to talk about it. Appreciate you guys. Check test. What's going on, y'all? This is a second live for Corpus Christi Coffee. Let me see if we can put the chat here. If anybody's on the chat.
You'll have to read that. I can't see that far.
Yeah, I can't.
So we've got, I'm Jesus, your host. Obviously, this is the Corpus Christi Coffee edition. Coffee cup. No coffee in here. Oh, you guys got coffee.
We got another one over here.
And we got, be sure to share the mic over there. So we got Bobby Pena.
Yes, the third. Sometimes everybody says it more official, but yeah, Bobby Pena. And then my oldest daughter,
Elisa Pena.
What's going on, y'all? So Bobby, I know Bobby through the comedy scene.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, right. And I'm the co-administrator of CorpusChristiComedy.com with Ronnie Fryer. And one of the neat things that we're doing is we're really trying to elevate the scene with the comedy community. And Elisa has just graduated 2 years ago from Texas State, and they're able to really help out with flyers, promos, different logos and things for
Stickers, the koozies. The koozies are really cute.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So they did all of the logos that we have, the stickers, and then the other merch that we're thinking we're going to kind of expand to maybe coffee mugs next.
Nice.
And then T-shirts later on.
Eventually. That's a lot more stock to hold.
Right, this is true. But it's been awesome the way that Elisa's been able to thrive and then help us out as well as they use their creative outlets for us.
How do you feel about helping out the comedy scene, or like what business, like what do you sell?
Well, typically I sell my art as stickers, keychains, cups, all kinds of things. Just whatever I can put my art on to make it more accessible for people to see. We recently started tote bags. Those are really cute. I don't know if they showed that off.
Flying off the shelves.
We've sold that a couple of times already. But I generally do that, and then I kind of freelance to supplement that income. So I do stuff with a couple of nonprofits in the museum and things like that. But being able to use that to support the local community in general, not just comedy, but all over, is really cool, because our family has been in Corpus forever. So we're like I'm like sixth generation Corpus Christian.
Yeah, like we said, my mother-in-law lives next door. So, and she's 91, 92?
Yeah, she just turned 91 last month.
So yeah, they have been, in the thick of it for forever.
So anything to kind of make Corpus thrive is really important to me, and I really, really enjoy doing that kind of thing.
I think I've instilled that. Sherry too. She's been born. She's born next door. My wife, 28 years.
Well, in a hospital.
Well, in the hospital, but yeah, they grew up next door. And so it's been one of the things where even though I was born in Chicago, I moved here in my, starting high school. So it's really been thing for me for 40 years. So I really taken, I know I don't look it.
No, well, you do definitely look like Chicago-ish now that I look at you.
I thought he was going to say you look old.
I was surprised you only said 40.
That's funny, bro.
But yeah, we really love Corpus. Obviously, there's some things that kind of we love more than some other things. I mean, the way some things can go politically, water, any kind of things that the desal or whatever, all that. I mean, that's, we want the best. And sometimes you think one thing is going to be the best and it doesn't work out. So, live and learn. But I think the neat thing, like at Cole Park, they have that sign that says better together on the side of the amphitheater.
Yeah.
And I really think that obviously that is the best way to move forward. So when we get more people on our side and people knowing about, the Corpus Christi comedy.com site, and then with Elisa's artistry by Elisa, there's a lot of things that we can help facilitate, more growth, more understanding, more creative things. So that's always
cool.
a neat thing.
So you've always been involved in like in the community, or?
We really kind of have. I mean, some years it's taken, a little bit of a backseat just because of things that are, kind of drawing our needs and stuff. But with church.
Mom is like a teacher, or she just retired from teaching, so now she works with me. But
so it's awesome.
She was always involved, and like our whole family, because Ella was a Girl Scout. She has that billboard.
All right. So down at the marina.
Down at the marina that talks about
the grasslands,
the seagrass and stuff.
The importance
protecting it.
Right. So there's been little things that we've done, through church or through other ways, like you said, the Girl Scouts and things that you have done with your social
volunteering
activity
and stuff like that.
So cool.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you need to be involved in the community? Like what made you like want to get involved in the community? Is it because you had kids?
I think a little bit about that, but one of the things I remember growing up is hearing people complain and then me going, so what are you doing? And then we're just complaining. Yeah. Well, that's not going to solve anything. When your aunts and uncles or some of their friends come over and they are just complaining, like, well, it's not going to change if you don't try to do something different.
One of the things that we've been talking about, I'm involved with like working at, we've been doing clothing swaps and stuff with the free store and things like that, is talking about the price of community is inconvenience.
Price of community?
Is inconvenience, yeah. So even when you don't want to do something for the betterment of the village and like being a community, it's really important that you do those things anyway.
Yeah, you may be tired, might be exhausted, but still.
Yeah. Comedy is late at night all the time.
Well, it's true, and so that's the importance of coffee, like you said. The stimulant that it is, making sure you get up for the cause.
Here comes the cat. Wants to be in the interview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So your degrees in art. What's your degree in?
It's officially called communication design, which is just a fancy way to say graphic design.
Graphic design?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. So how are you learning like the business aspect of it, being that you're selling stuff now?
Trial and error.
Yeah, for sure. I hear
Well,
you.
you've taken a course recently.
Yeah, I took a continuing education course through Texas State to kind of get more on the business side because we were going on 2 years, and I was like, I kind of need a little more
And then you just took that seminar
information.
For sure.
too.
Yeah.
And then the neat thing that Sherry and Elisa are good at is asking the other vendors that are near them, like, what's worked for y'all and what hasn't. And this way they're not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
So they can, draw upon those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And then I think they're really open and they look at things in a way where, okay, let's not make, a million of these until we know that 20 of
They're
these
gonna
will
sell.
sell.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why we kind
Because-
of try and do everything in house.
Right.
But then speaking of real quick about what you were saying about being really open, all of the artist community, which is more where I am, we're all, I feel, really like we're colleagues and not competition.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of gatekeeping. So that's a big community
that's
building
huge.
aspect because everyone is helping out. I just talked to a couple of people who were at Tuesday Blues Day, which we like to do.
At the university.
Nice.
And they're kind of thinking their students getting close to graduating and deciding what they want to do with their lives. They're like, how do you do this? And I'll tell them anything because none of us are going to be the same. We're all kind of working together.
Right. And then that's been like a thing with Milky Tomato is a company that is a weird name,
funny name.
but they are like what Elisa does on steroids because they do things on a huge scale and they are very successful. And so it's like how a Mexican family owns a Mexican restaurant and everybody works in it.
Yeah.
That's theirs,
Same thing.
but for a graphic design
Oh, wow.
company.
Yeah.
And
So she does stickers and all that kind of stuff
But
and
every-
Comic-Con.
and-
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's they have like the biggest they get the biggest spot and then they have
Yeah, they're
so
up to
many-
like a 20 by 10 now
See,
at cons.
and at conventions that are that's big.
That's huge.
And so they have stuff like stacked.
Wow.
And so it's really neat. And they are awesome. They love Elisa and Sherry. So they help out and when they like something that Elisa's done, they'll put it on there and go, look at what our friend Elisa,
Oh, wow.
And so they'll tag her and they'll highlight it and stuff. So that, like she said, that there's not that much gatekeeping as far as, there could be some, but then you find the people that are willing to help and answer and, and then they have been really open to the young kids too, who want to do something like this. No AI. We don't use any AI on anything. And there's signs.
we have a sign at our booth.
That is AI.
No AI. It says like 100%
Oh, okay.
human made.
And we know that there's a huge thing about it, but
Yeah, we have that sign, and we also have a safe space,
Wow.
a safe zone sign because we got certified through the Pride Center of Corpus Christi. So
Nice.
those are two of the things that we really believe in, and so we have it published at the booth and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's awesome. And then we know AI is like hitting like a nice little trend highlight right now where people are putting things, and that's cute and all, but real artists, are what really drive things. And then, they're so
Water consumption.
water. And when you find out what goes into creating all those little memes and things, you're like, it's insane how that's the way it was developed. You're like, wait, why though? Why do they have to do it the way they do it? Because the amount of water that's being used to do those kind of, factory farms or whatever they call them is
Server
insane.
farm or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's insane. But some of them kind of look cute, and some of them, Elisa can spot any AI. It's
Yeah.
hilarious, and so it's like AI. I went, really?
And I could do it better.
Yes.
How do you find yourself as a dad supporting what your daughter's doing?
There's a lot of hallmark moments. We've talked about this because they have an exhibit at the Museum of Science and History where we've taken them when they were in strollers, through. And so seeing that kind of thing, it started at the Art Center a couple years before, when you were still in school.
When I turned 18.
Right. Having, things sell there. So they would do a thing there, and seeing it on the wall was, you're how cool,
So cool. Yeah.
And so when I post it on online, I'll go proud parental post or whatever. And it's like, for real, it's one of those things where I get sentimental, and we look at, my wife and I look at each other and like, seeing it go from there to this.
Yeah.
And then now with the exhibit and special spot at the museum, and it's a highlighted piece, it's like, wow, that's pretty cool. And they're doing something that they love. And so seeing the creative part come through and just them thinking of something and then doing it to a point, you're like, wow, it's
seeing it being developed and actually coming to fruition. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, so have you tried, like, what's the difference between selling a big piece of art, or do you do big pieces of art? You know
I
what
do.
mean?
I do some fine art pieces that I will display in the art center. But since those take so long, like we have some hanging up that I do them with like a 032 brush, so it's like barely any bristles, and you're kind of doing it real slow, and it takes like 100 hours. That costs a ton of money, and even like the regular designs. So drawing a cup takes 17 to 23 hours.
Wow.
So original work, I would have to charge so much to have the time work out. So that's why I really like making them into products, so that more people can have them, and it's just more accessible.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I do the fine art still occasionally and stuff like that, and I'm gonna be having an art show for my 25th birthday.
Wow. Cool.
My quadrancentennial. But so I'll have some of my pieces there. But I really enjoy having the smaller stuff that people can have.
That's
And
cool.
it's wild at how, especially Tuesday Blues Day at the university, those students love their stuff.
Wow.
It is incredible. And they'll
I
get,
love them.
yes, yes. But I mean, and so they're so glad that, Elisa's there again at this next month. And so they'll get the collection. So if they've made cups, and there'll be 4 to the collection or something, they'll get the next one, or
Cool.
and things
So
like
that's
that.
so that's what you would you consider that your following, your audience?
Oh yeah, we've started doing loyalty cards, like
Cool.
little punch cards.
Yeah,
so
that's so
I'll sign
cool.
it, and then they get a special sticker when they visit us 5 times.
Yeah.
But
And then we have pen pals and different kinds of things going on to, be connected to the
Yeah, it's a snail mail club, so I designed, there's a couple different themes,
Yeah.
like Planet Earth. It's really cheesy, but the art is capitalized. And that one's got like animals and stuff with fun facts and little hats and things. And then there's silly, sexy pinups, which is all ridiculous things. Like this month,
Yeah.
if you haven't opened yours, don't listen. They're conversation parts with little pinup legs. But so I send out those once a month with like a letter and my calendar and stuff like that.
Nice.
So some of my regulars really love that.
Yes, yeah, and it's a neat thing as
Yeah.
a dad seeing that. And then our other daughter, they're real passionate about, theater, so they've done, a lot of the plays and things,
Cool.
and they're sociology with a minor in law, so they are activists. So Elisa is as
Texas
well,
Rising and stuff.
right, with Texas Rising, and wanting the betterment of the city and all of our citizens and things. So it's neat as a parent, seeing them doing
that.
what they really like
Wow.
and feel fulfilled doing. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
they've always kind of been like follow your dreams. So a lot of people would not want their child to pursue a career in the arts,
I
but
hear about that. They're probably going to live with you forever, and that would be fine.
and that's the attitude
yeah.
that he went in with it, and he's like, well, as long as you like it.
Yeah.
And that's like when you kind of talked off camera before, where there was a gap when I started comedy when I was in my 20s after high school, and I kind of joked that with our daughters and my wife, it's one of those things where I had a captive audience. So they, as it is now, we could build off each other and laugh and everything. So it wasn't as big of a need to get out, at those times, because we were able to make them laugh, or they were
Yeah.
able to make me laugh and things, and we do things together and really do it right. Now it's getting to the point where I'm able to retire really soon, and so kind of live out more of the comedy thing and do my best to help the scene with the CorpusChristiComedy.com with Ronnie and everything. So it's kind of come full circle, and it's really kind of a neat thing to experience, because there's ups and downs, hills and valleys, along the way and everything. But it's like, all right, even though I'm old as heck, it's still,
Well, yeah. See, I asked you the other day. I was like, so are you like, because you seem like retirement age and stuff,
Right.
and I was like, is this your retirement plan? Like, you don't have to be, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right.
why you're here? You know what I mean?
and
That's basically my question.
You're not even retirement age though. You're retiring early.
Well,
so.
I'm retiring. Well,
Very
from
young.
AT&T. So I qualified from AT&T, and they're offering a package and everything because we got a little slower and see about those that can. And so I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
I thought this call would come late last year, but it didn't.
Oh, wow.
So I thought maybe it's going to be a little while longer. But the kids, when I had mentioned we love like Jim Gaffigan and going to different shows,
Cool.
Nate Bargatze, but leaving those shows, and I think I had said something like, I wish I would have possibly kept on doing that, younger.
Younger,
And
wow.
the kids were like, well, you could do that now.
Do it now, yeah.
And so, like we said, you tell them do what you love, and then here I may not be
Hey.
doing exactly what I love and putting it. So the kids weren't having that. They're like, no, you could do this now.
You're
And so-
you're the second dad this week that told me that same thing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, I'm telling my kids this, and what's dad doing?
Right.
I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, smoke. So we're obviously thinking that.
Exactly right. And you
Yeah.
got to, lead by example to a certain extent, or else, you were just blowing smoke, Dad. What that?
Yeah, crazy, man. So you'll be hosting a show?
So I'll be
or
hosting
open
the
mic?
open mic on Thursday at Mesquite Street. I love that mic.
That cat.
Yeah. And so that's always fun, going down there and seeing all the new comedians, or the comedians do new bits and
Cool,
stuff.
cool. Yeah, for sure. At Mesquite.
Mesquite.
Did they
downtown.
ask you, or is there like
So there's like a sign up sheet,
There you
and
go.
Ana Ramirez, one of our great freaking comedians here, they are in charge of part of it,
Mm-hmm.
and so they'll go around with a sign up sheet and then kind of ask who'd be willing or wanting to do that.
Wow.
And so there's a couple of us that get to do it a little more often than others. I'll not do it next month, but then the month after I have another time to do it then.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's neat because it gives new comedians another chance to see what hosting is all about.
Right.
And everybody at our mics are really kind of like how Elisa was saying the artists are. We're not gatekeepers. If there's things we think we could help tell them, do this, don't do this, or, don't worry about this, and kind of move it, in a positive direction. That's a neat thing.
So cool.
Yeah.
And there's Joe's kind of your age. I remember I saw you at the Artisan with Joe. He's kind
Right.
of the same age as you. That's so cool.
He always says he's older than me, and I'll let him keep saying that, even though we don't need to get a calculator and really figure it out. So he asked me again, so how old are you? I go, no, you've been saying on air that you're older, so we'll just keep it.
So
I don't want to call you a liar. But he says that it's him, it's Wendell, Mr. Wendell, him, and then every now and again he'll remember that Jan and Barney, even though she's a musical artist and stuff, but then I don't think he thinks they're as old as we are at times, because they do a lot of things. They're really active. They kayak and do all kinds of cool little things, and sometimes some 50-year-olds aren't doing those things, and they're in their 60s, because he just talked about getting his Social Security. So, but Joe says he's like the second or third oldest in Corpus. So I let him have it.
Man, so cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So you've been doing comedy for how long?
So 2 years again. One of my friends, Max Richards, his stage name, was turning 50, and when we were younger, I sold cars with him at Saturn. Yeah, and that was a great time.
Showing your age.
Yeah,
Saturn, bro.
yeah.
It's like, is that even the right?
I know, right? So the neat thing about there is you have a lot of downtime. So if you have a good group of guys, there's a lot of neat things that could happen. And so I had told him about me doing comedy when I was younger, and then doing different things and improv. So he was like, asking more questions, and where do you do that? And I tell him about the different open mics that were there then.
Yeah.
And so he really got inspired by that and started doing it. Well, then he turned 50, and he was like, hey, I like some of the people that had an integral part in me getting to this part. And so I was one of the guys, like Blake Trevino was on there, Sean Miller, Shaky Jake, Doug Dalton, Blake Trevino. So there was, did I say him twice?
You said him twice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
There.
Elisa had done his logo. Another shout out.
Yeah. So you did his logo.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
for
that's
the
for the
Slow
Slow
Roast
Roast, yeah.
podcast. That's dope.
right. And so it was neat. And so then
So
that
that's
was
your
where
first show
that was the first show coming back. And so the itch was there again. And so like the kids had said, then do it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right.
You didn't have such a captive audience because we were adults. I don't live here no more.
Right, exactly. So, and Sherry can.
So jokes around your family different from jokes at like at open mic or at a show?
I think somewhat. Now that they're older, I'm not really dirty or anything like really super, wearing
We don't
age
let 'em.
appropriate. Well, there's always the dad. If I do say something, or if
I feel like you're dirtier at home sometimes, honestly.
Well,
Then we
now,
let you be
I was all
professionally-
pent up. I couldn't say very many things because you were. So now I have to say some things just come out.
Well, you can only hold it in so long.
Exactly right. Hurry up and turn 21. As it is now, one of the things that Elisa is saying is that sometime in the past I had said you can't.
And he did.
No, they're making it seem like I had said that you could flip me off when you are 35.
Okay, because Dad
Oh,
likes
wow.
to flip his kids off for fun. We're looking at him too long. He throws us a little bird. And then Catherine, my cousin, one time flipped off Dad back, and she was 25. And I said, well, why does Catherine get to flip you off back? And Dad goes, well, you can when you're 25. And guess what? I'm 25 in April, and there's a lot of walking back going on.
There seems to be a thing where Elisa, Ella, and my wife
Have a better memory than
Well,
you.
they claim that they have a better memory, and they use that against me. No, we told you about this. I'm like, I don't think you
Listen.
told me about this. I think it's just a thing where you get past
We both
the
had
argument.
concussions. Yours was more major than mine.
I did have a concussion, yes,
Oh,
but, and age and stuff, and I partied a lot when I was young. But still, I mean, I think they get over it.
25 is the number.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
watch out for that at the art show.
Yeah, we're gonna be with all of Lisa's art, and then she's gonna be just there.
Yeah. So who do you guys got for the Super Bowl today?
I really like the Dallas Cowboys. I think the way the Seahawks have been playing, that they're more well-rounded. I like, both teams. They've played and gotten to this point because they're talented, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just so it's so not fair for other teams when New England had been so dominant for so long, and then they didn't have that long of a layoff of being bad to be good again. It's like, as a Chicago Cubs fan, I don't get it. And a Bears fan,
I'm back.
but like things like that, you're like, they should go through a mourning period that's longer than 2 years. It's like, what the
You
heck?
wanted to go through 100 years.
Well, not 100, but I mean 10, but I do like some of the players on both teams. So it's one of the things that's changed me is fantasy football has made it to where I'm not only Cowboys or only Bears since I'm from Chicago.
Wow.
So now, you like different aspects of different teams.
And you
Elisa
love the Ravens.
Elisa and Ella are not that way still. They remember when I was really like only, and so every now and again, now Ella's getting to a point where they're more comfortable with school, their course load. So on Sundays, they'll watch some games with me more often. And so if I'm seeing a game that isn't a Bears game or a Cowboys game,
I think that's ridiculous. I think we should be watching a movie together.
well, see, that's the thing too. Elise could take it or leave it. They don't care.
I don't care.
Ella is kind of like now, but for some reason she's adopted the Ravens. So now we watch some.
The Ravens, wow.
I think they love to read, and their mascot is what is it? The
Edgar Allan and Poe.
Edgar Allan and
right?
Poe.
Oh, okay, the Ravens. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, but so that's the thing. She is dating somebody who is a Washington Commanders season ticket holder. The family owns, and so that is a trying thing where you're like, what in the heck?
But we saw them on TV at Christmas.
Well, this is true.
That was fun.
But
Nice.
so that's always a trying thing as a dad.
Yeah.
You try to raise them right,
I've decided I like the Miami Dolphins because their colors are nice.
and then
wow.
it's the
I
hardest.
just like
the
their
hardest
colors.
hardest.
They're cute.
And look at the dolphin goes through that ring.
Reminds me of Snowflake from Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh man, I want to talk about your roast battle. What was that like?
So that was my first. I had never, been in a roast battle. As a matter of fact, when growing up, when people would try to tell yo mama jokes about my mom, we would get in, a scuffle.
Oh, wow.
So I wasn't really about that. And it was fine that other people liked doing it and everything. But Me and another comedian, Tim Boudreau, were talking when it was announced.
Wow.
And he's an older comedian. And so we were like, it's kind of a cool bucket list check, thing as a comedian. I didn't think I was going to get as far as I got. And then to do that with my wife does not like roasts. And so it's
Ex-elementary school teacher.
Right.
Very stressful for people to be mean to each other.
Wow.
yes, doesn't really appreciate being, leaning mean, and so some of it could be, just, more comedic. And so not intended.
Yeah.
But so that's the one thing, but they all love to support me. So they were there and I won, and then I won. And then
we had to keep going and seeing people be mean to Dad.
So it was like a trying thing. So as it got closer, when I'd win, and so
Bittersweet.
yes, exactly.
Dad.
Right. Wow. But my goodness, you're not that fat.
Oh my
anymore.
gosh, how did y'all feel when they were roasting him? Oh my gosh.
Mom's heart rate monitor on her watch went off a few times where it's like, calm down, maybe. I feel like, knowing
Crazy.
Dad, I could have made fun of more things than just him being fat.
Yes.
As the other fat person in the family.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But also,
Well, you're right. And
Well,
I'm
that's
glad you
nothing-
kept your mouth closed because we don't need to give anybody any more. And that's the thing, like on my socials, there is so many things you could make fun of. I do things that could easily have been a joke. I love my Can-Am. I'm on the Riker a lot. Sherry makes it where that's my second wife. So there could have been some things there.
Corinne, the artist who won,
right.
did
Yeah.
diversify a lot of her jokes.
Right.
And she's really creative. She's such a good writer.
Oh, she's an artist too, isn't she? I mean,
Yeah.
have you
Yeah.
seen some of her
Yeah.
reports? Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's neat.
We're fans of each other.
Right,
Hey,
right,
go.
and the family too. So that made it an interesting battle at the end. But it was great. I mean, looking back at it, I'm glad I did it. I'm proud of the way I did it. I think I attacked it in a way where my jokes were mostly fact-based. Like if they didn't say something on stage or do something on socials or anything, I would listen to them on podcasts and get things that they had said they did or liked or didn't
wow.
like.
He really
I
stalked.
did.
Wow.
Yeah, because some of the comedians that I had, like the second round, Adrian Rodriguez, he doesn't do a lot of shows or do a lot of things like that, and he doesn't post a lot. But he was on Sports with Roland for a good while. He had a little stint where he was on his own. So I listened to those and kind of get tidbits of that. Jay Everett, who I started with, he's out there. He'll say everything.
Yeah.
So you
I
could
know
just
we're at shows like all the
right,
time
and so
together.
he'll be real self-effacing and say things that
Holy
he's
smokes.
making fun of himself. So I could say, "Well, Jay said," and
wow,
everybody's
use it
like,
on him.
"What? He said that?" And so that was good for that one. And then as we went along, Sweet Tea is another one who doesn't post a lot of his personal or other interests on social media. So I had to listen to his times on podcasts. And then it was during that time, and then when we were on a podcast, the Slow Roast again, that we would mention something and he would say, well, he doesn't like to read. He doesn't like to listen to music. And so people started roasting him right then, right at the same time. But then, and some of the people would be on like another podcast, That Dude Talks with Chris Longoria and that one. So it was neat to be able to do that and kind of do my research that way. So that's the way I had done it. Like some of the other comedians, they would just say, have a good, funny thought in their head, and it couldn't have been meant for anybody, not just Bobby Pena III,
Okay.
And so that was fine, and that's their strategy, and that's how they go about it. That's fine for them.
I did accidentally heckle once.
Oh yeah.
Someone had said, called you a virgin or something, and I was like,
yeah.
his kids are here.
I
His two kids.
Yeah,
Which I felt bad. I shouldn't have heckled.
No, that was the first round against Jay, because he said
wow.
something along the lines of,
And we're friends with Jay. We're cool with Jay. He
yeah.
asked me to make his flyers and stuff.
Right.
But I was like, what?
and Jay has a
wow.
big heart, and stuff, but he
He
does.
hugs us all and everything after and everything.
Yeah.
It's
And
fine.
But it's one of those things where he had said something, like, you don't have sex or you don't have something, like that.
Yeah.
He's got 2 kids, and that was good.
Yeah. Do you feel like that comedians need to be on social media more?
I do. I think, especially during show times, show weeks when you're on a show.
Okay.
Me and Tina La Cucina were talking about this, that it's great and infuriating to have some of the comedians on your bill because Some of them, they perform wonderfully. They are going to get the laughs, but they aren't going to post until that day that they're on a show.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like, girl or guy, you have, 1,200 fans. They want to see you, and so you not posting on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whichever ones you use.
Yeah.
I think that's a hindrance towards the scene and them growing. So a lot of comedians are introverts. They can get on stage and say jokes and be hilarious.
That whole thing about that, yeah.
Right, be hilarious. But after that, off stage, they aren't going to go up and try to get more fans by being outgoing. Hey, how are you doing? Thanks so much.
Networking, I guess you could call it.
And so, so socials, not posting on there, I think is really making it harder for them to get a bigger following. And nowadays, it seems like club promoters want you to have 1,000, 15, 3,000, 5,000 fans, so that it seems like it's going to be better, for them to sell tickets,
right?
Because you have more people that
bring more people to their venue, all that other stuff.
And then when you say I'm on a show here, then they'll say, "All right, I'm there. I'm close to that." Or so it helps. And there's so many people that can say different things. Well, Facebook's dead, or Facebook's for older people, or whatever it is. There's still a lot of traction and a lot of people that come to our shows because of flyers.
Yeah.
With CorpusChristiComedy.com, we're at 3,500 followers now, and just not even
It's
a
growing.
year. Exactly. And I think we're doing it for the right reasons. We wanted to highlight the scene.
Yeah.
Everybody, even comedians that we may not agree with everything they say, they're still comedians in Corpus.
Right,
and
right,
they
right,
should, they have their fans, so whatever they do, their podcasts or their,
Wow.
films and things like that they do,
Yeah.
we'll put it on there so that, you can say.
So cool.
Yeah.
I was mentioning to Ronnie, like maybe on that same page, put a clip of a comedian.
That's one of the
so
things
people
that,
can see. Oh, man, I might like this. guy," or
exactly right.
whatever.
That's one of
We
the.
need more of the comedians to film themselves
Yes.
and have.
Yes.
Oh,
But
so
there's
there's
been
not
a
a
lot
lot
of-
of that going on.
Well, there's some, but not everybody does it,
And not everyone has polished clips.
Right.
It's definitely been a conversation.
Right, and then
between
so that's one of the things we really want to highlight in 2026. And like with the show you just did, I think that one was a great show. And then one of the things we could have done, and I think we should do going forward, is maybe interviews with some of the people leaving, so that we could do Man on the Street, or you just left
What'd you
the
think about
Corpus
the
Christi
show?
original
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
What'd you like? And what have you followed everybody, or are you gonna
a
different
good
kinds of
idea.
things like that to drum up interest, and then highlight people who are leaving to tag the venue, the show, comedians. This way, it makes it seem like that's the place to be. And it is, because everybody at that show had a great time.
Yeah.
Nobody left going, whatever.
Yeah.
Because whatever reason, plumbing, whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna
or what
mention that.
have you. Or AC,
I mean, yeah,
you
it
know.
seems like an old building anyways. Plus,
Right.
that side of town, a lot of the stuff is old, like including
Sure.
the plumbing. Because I kind of live on that side of town too,
Okay.
and it's an
Yeah.
issue definitely.
But
for that part of the city.
But the room upstairs, everybody
Oh,
loves
yeah,
it. I mean, so
man.
many comedians that I've talked to, like John Stringer was just here, and we had a great 3-hour lunch with him and Ronnie, Blake, and I. And that's one of the ones he says out of the whole country,
Wow.
that's like in his top.
No way. Wow.
So it's only like 60, 80 seats, but the feel, the way the ceiling's lower, it's got a cool vibe and everything. So it's got a neat vibe to it. And so when you put in comedians who are having fun and everything, I think it'll help, grow the scene faster. The more people are more out there on socials, for sure.
So what do you want to get into, like the level of comedy for comedians? Like, do we have actually good comics, or are they still making it their way toward that?
I think we have some, like, definitely, diamonds in the rough. There are some that are really good. And then there's some that are close, and I think it's just a little more time, a little more input from, different comedians. Going to the open mics, now that there's some weeks we have open mics, it could be like one a day. And so having 5+ a week is awesome for Corpus, because it wasn't like that, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that's a neat thing. And then especially, I think, like, Miguelito's taken a more positive approach about helping, comedians tag certain things, as well as John Roman. Javi Luna's helped me, with a couple things. I worked one of his merch tables when he had a sickness for the person handling his merch on one of his shows with Chonai up in Woodlawn, the Woodlawn Center. And so that ride up there and back, it was awesome. So he was letting me pick his brain and stuff. So it's a neat thing about that.
From an outsider's perspective, who's been going to the shows now for a little over 2 years, because we were going a little bit before you were jumping in. A lot of the comedians have the same jokes that have kind of prevailed, but they've all evolved. So when they have the same sets that they've been doing for a while, they really grow into it and take the notes and everything. And so even some people that I've only seen for 2 years have gotten leaps and bounds better just by going out and practicing their craft, which is really cool.
Yeah, it is. And that's the neat thing, like how I look at like the hooks, the Corpus Christi hooks. I love sports. And so a lot of things are sports metaphors. But seeing like when those guys are coming up and then seeing who they've become with the Astros or other teams is kind of similar to the Corpus Christi comedy scene. Because I remember seeing Steve Trevino when he was just starting out at like Sparkling City and a couple of the places around here. Javi Luna, I remember him being with the Vatos Locos tour, which is still a cool tour. But, that was 10 years ago, and seeing where he is now. And
he was so funny at the last show.
Oh,
he
my
did
gosh.
such a good job.
Oh, at the roast?
Yes.
Yeah, because he was on the show that he had hosted the other night too. So he's our big fish. He is, the big name in Corpus, along with Tina La Cochina, who's won, Comedian of the Year for the band for a while.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then John Roman has been really instrumental in helping a lot of people with his being one of the promoters for a lot of different comedy clubs here in the city too. So it's neat to see where we can be. The rise of the mothership and the things going on in San Antonio and Austin. We're close enough to where a lot of the comedians that are going there, if we could take a Wednesday or a Thursday show from them before they do their Friday or Saturday show and then build our scene more. And I think the Hilliard Center is doing that, with a lot of the comedians they're bringing in. Mesquite Street has a really cool list of comedians coming, just in the few months coming up. Yeah. And so it's neat seeing that. And then the open mic spots that we have that we could thrive, the Annex with their showcase and things like that, all the different places. And a lot of our comedians are hungry to get maybe their own mic or get another show during the month somewhere else. So there's going to be a lot of neat places coming up as well. So.
Yeah, I really hope a lot of us, like, I don't know if do you think that like we're too nice to each other at open mics, like great set?
I think
instead of like, oh, maybe this. Or,
one of the things, I think in a way, though, there's a couple of us who I know I'm one of them, and there's a couple other guys that are compliment sandwich, but also when they taped one, I go, I'd love to see that with you, or after you watch that.
Okay, so they're trying to
exactly. Yeah. And I'll go, let's watch that together. Or after you watch that, let's talk. Because I'll remember a couple things, but sometimes some people don't want to hear the
criticism.
Right. Because they want to hear the praise. Everybody does.
Yeah.
And so if you say it then, or I'll also kind of say, well, how did it feel? And then we'll build off of that. I don't want to go up to someone where they know they kind of, botched one thing or something, and then kind of make it to where they're not going to believe the next time they may have, bombed, and I go, dude, yeah, you rocked. Then they're going to, you just say what I want to say, so they might not, think of me as a good sounding board. And by no means do I know any more than anybody else, but I know what I hear, and so when they say why they wanted to say something or what they were thinking about, I go, well, did you do that? And then we can kind of get into more of the process. But a lot of comedians, not a lot, there's several comedians who are good about that, helping. There's writing sessions that, have happened at Tapology and things like that. Right. And stuff like that. So there's a lot of help to be done. And it's not just after the mics or after the shows, like you killed it, you crushed.
Yeah, for sure. And when if somebody tells me that, I'm like, what? Tell me more. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they're not ready. They're not ready to say. They're like, oh, I thought I was just going to say this, and we're going to be done, and we're going to hug it out, and then that's all.
Yeah. The other night at Artisan, one guy told me, he's like, oh yeah, great. I was the first one, the third one to go up. I was like, what'd you like about it? And he couldn't remember.
Right.
I was like, okay, whatever. Well, thank you though. appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Yeah, is there anything you guys want to talk about? Anything else?
I got my first show in San Antonio coming March 1st.
Dope.
So that's going to be neat. That was one of the goals once I retired, is to start traveling a little bit more. And so San Antonio is a great place. There's a lot of cool comedians that have, come down and I met or through socials, got, a really nice friendship with. So that's going to be neat. And I got a lot of family and friends up there that haven't been able to come down.
You're putting on the show?
No. I'm just
invited.
Guest.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
It's a open bike showcase on a Sunday, and it's done by Duckies. He's a big name in San Antonio, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then it's Anna had told me, I'd asked because I didn't hear about this bar. It's called Rocky's Tavern. I'm like, anybody know about this? And Anna had said, oh, that's a fun room. Go, do it. And I'm like, okay. And so he had said I could bring some people. So I'm bringing Ronnie Fryer, Skip Pettit, and Tim Boudreau.
Oh, they're going to be on the show?
Yeah, so they'll be on there.
Wow.
So I'll be a feature doing just a little bit, 15 minutes, and then they'll be able to do, 7 to 10.
So cool.
So it'll be a good guy trip, my first road trip. They all done road trips. But me having to work for this long time, so
Nice.
I haven't yet. So this will be the first one.
Elisa, what do you got going on? I heard you in the art center.
Yeah, I
Cool.
have a couple of places where I have my stuff. Art Center, K-Space is one. I have a shelf in there. Sparkling City Game Store, I have stuff in there. And then
Noasis Brewing.
Noasis Brewing, I designed their labels for their barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
And then my most recent one was the Museum of Science and History, where we did a wholesale order. So they have like our Corpus Christi cups, and then we designed cups for, and I say we because Mom is so integral to the business. She's production.
Yes.
So I design, and then she does a lot of our production work, but did some stuff for them. And I don't want to blow smoke up my but it's really cool. It's really exciting that they've put in the Corpus Christi section, the Noasis section,
Nice.
a little display case
That's dope.
featuring
It is
me,
so
which was
cool.
really awesome.
So when we had seen it, we're like, oh my gosh, because it's in a case. The things that they've made for them. So like the different things are things that you could see in the museum. So it's not just things that Elisa had made of the city, as some of the other items are.
Yeah.
This one is specific for them. And
Wow.
so they're able to do that for other museums, and they've kind of reached out. But they're also the in-house artists for the
Colorado River Association. So they do work. They're based out of Austin, and they're a nonprofit that helps teach kids about water conservation and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And they do river cleanups.
Oh, wow.
And I
they do.
designed a little. He's a raindrop. His name is Ripple. He's very cute.
Wow.
And
so
they
neat.
actually
That's
turned
so
him.
cool.
We designed him for a project for like a kids activity booklet.
Yeah.
They turned him into a mascot recently.
Wow.
And he looks exactly like
That's
my drawing.
amazing.
It's so cute. It's
Yo,
so
how do you
exciting.
feel about that? Wow, that's
it's
awesome.
No, I love it. I love them. I love working with people that are doing good things for any community. I was up there obviously for college in San Marcos. So that's how we got connected, but they're awesome.
Yes.
I love everything they do.
And it's such a cool thing as a dad, seeing
Yes.
their enthusiasm about all that. So,
That's dope. Yeah. So how do we find you guys online?
mine on Bobby Pena the Third on Facebook, Bobby Pena 3 Comedy on Instagram, or CorpusChristiComedy.com. We have all the shows, open mics, things like that. We have a calendar of every comedy show, open mic, or things going on in the city that the comedians are doing. Wednesday, there's at the Alamo Draft House, there's Film Up. Heidi Habda puts on this awesome thing where local artists are able to put little things that they may be working on to big films. So if they're doing some kind of project, wherever it is in the
Wow.
in the setup or the process, they can have it filmed there to get criticism or critiques, show it off, kind of network that way. So I'm in one with that Javi Luna, and I had
so
been
cool.
in, and I was Miguelito's in it, Danielle Torres, Happy the Entertainer, Ronnie
Right.
Fryer.
Oh, yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of Trey Adamijo. There's a lot of comedians in that one. Then we tried to do it for CC7 Day, but we kind of we had a kind of a technical glitch.
Yeah.
So we weren't able to do that. So this will be the first screening. There's still some polishing up that Javi wants to do with it. But like we said, it's a
Wow.
place that you can put it up there. And then Jan is doing something Jan Morris, the other comedian. We love all of her comedy songs. But her and Barney put together another version of one of their CC 7-day films that they had done last time.
Wow.
It's going to be the second edition of Corpus Christi After Dark. A lot of comedians are in that. I'm in that one in a couple scenes.
Wow, that's
so
cool.
that's awesome there too.
Online, how can they go to that?
Film Up, you go to AlamoDraftHouse.com or Film Up Corpus Christi is another way that you can go and get the tickets and things like that.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's an awesome time.
Dope.
And then online, I'm Artistry by Elisa on everything. Elisa is ELISA. And that's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter.
Nice.
I never tweet, but
I never X.
never X. And then that's also my website. So just artistrybyelisa.com, and that's where I am.
Nice. Yeah, I like the picture you have for your logo. It looks like you with the glasses.
Yes.
Right,
and
right.
everything.
Yeah.
I should have worn mine. I got one.
Yeah.
I'm with Elisa.
Nice.
Like hers says, I'm Elisa.
Cool. Well,
So-
thanks. Well, thanks a lot, you guys, for being on the
Yes,
show
thanks for having us.
for this conversation. Thanks a lot, you guys.
Yes.
Stay tuned for Corpus and Coffee, another edition coming out soon. This is the second episode of that. But thanks a lot for the comments, you guys, and we'll see y'all next time.
Woo!
Bye.
Nice.
Yay.
That was awesome.
Cool.
I'm sorry to notice that I'm not easily categorized by people. Excuse me. And it's uncomfortable for them. And before, and even now, every now and then it creeps in my head like I want them to be comfortable. Because I'm a part of society and I want to be liked by people, right? If you live like that for a long time, I lived like that for a long time. Eventually it gets to the point where I decided for myself to not please those people. Because for me, a person of having ADD, ADHD, it's difficult to maintain or have relationships with people. Because I'm socially awkward, I don't get social cues, and I can be excommunicated or like excluded from social situations, excluded from parties, excluded from these things, from being invited out, simply because I'm just weird. I remember I would say things out loud, I would laugh out loud, like literally laugh loudly, to where people would be like, "Oh, you're laughing too loud," and and I'm living life cool, thinking that it's just normal to be like that, and thanks to my parents and my father and my stepmother for just letting me be me. And I'd say I've lost a lot of opportunities with hanging out with friends and stuff like that. And I think it still happens to this day, where it's isolating, but in a sense, for me, I've learned in being isolated to entertain myself. I learned how to podcast. When I was younger, I learned how to play the guitar. It was a lot of hours spent by myself. Played games, Nintendo. I used to play Nintendo. I'm 40 years old. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, you'll learn stuff on your own, and eventually you want to take that stuff, your creativity, and show it to the world, show it to people, and that means that I have to go out in public. And I wouldn't say that I've been afraid of going out in public or have not wanted to go out in public because people are there. But at the same time, I don't want to go out in public because people are there. So, and that's always the constant thing for people with ADD. Like there's always positive and the negative charge that are fighting against each other. The reason why I say that, I don't want to be around people, but I do want to be around people because I like to be social. I like to talk to people. I like to make people laugh. And mix that with not wanting to be around the people that are rude to me because I'm a certain way. Like, you know that I'm a certain way from a mile away. You can see it. And I see that in people. They see it from me from a mile away. And so, like, if I see people in public, I automatically look at them, at their face, to let them know, like, I'm not one to be bullied, right? Because we get bullied with people with ADD, ADHD. We get bullied from elementary school all the way to high school. And a lot of times we'll get bullied and we won't even know that we're being bullied or made fun of until later on after the fact. So those two, I want to be social, but I don't want to be social, are always fighting against each other. And I think I found the happy medium with podcasting in my other podcast, the Corpus Christi Originals podcast, because I get to talk to people. I get to talk to people for an hour, and then after that, I'm done. Yeah, that's all my social battery can stand. I'm going to go back home to my kids, my family, and not be social until the next hour next week. But now I'm also social at work. A lot of times because I kind of have to be, because I can't totally like close off everybody, especially in the workplace. In the workplace, I have to communicate. I gotta learn how to communicate. I gotta learn how to set boundaries too. Like I've learned how to set boundaries in the workplace because there's bullying in the workplace, dude. It's everywhere. So find that happy medium, because we still have to be a part of society, regardless. And being a person that believes that believes in God through Jesus Christ according to the Bible. Because of that, I know and I understand that God created me like this. It makes you think of that story where they asked Jesus, this man has been like this, like I think he's paralyzed, or I don't know what happened to the guy. But they ask him, is it his fault or is it his parents' fault? You know? And I think obviously Jesus' answer, like always, is always like mind-boggling, like what? Like we never would have thought of it like that. So I think that way about my particular situation and being the way that I am. And it's like God wants me to be like this. So there's a way to live like this. And, you know, it makes me think of people that are really like paraplegic or have missing legs or are severely autistic or severely disabled in certain ways, people that can't see. Like, imagine what those people have to, and that's what I'm thinking in my mind. Like, imagine what those people have to live with. And mine is just like, and I have a fully functioning body. Thank you, Lord. As far as having arms, legs, I can see, I can hear. My vision is excellent. I just took a vision test, and it's, and for me, it's my brain that's messed up. And I'm thinking like people that can't see, people that can't hear, that have a missing arm or missing leg, whatever. For me, it's a mental thing that I'm having to learn to live with. And I have to constantly remind myself, it's fine. That's how your brain is. Learn to live with it. Learn to navigate your life. And thinking about it now, I feel like I'm pretty successful in what I do. I'm married. You know what I mean? People used to make fun of me because they thought I was a certain way. And I'm married. I have kids. You know what I mean? I have a college degree. I have a job. I'm able to provide for my family. I have a semi-successful local podcast in Corpus Christi, Texas. I had a semi-successful YouTube channel where I would put in guitar videos. I was putting programming videos. A lot of people watched, changed a lot of people's life, or helped a lot of people. And like, I think that's one of the things that I need to do for myself now, is to reflect and think back, like, of all the things, of all the accomplishments that I've made up until this point. And then another topic too, I'm thinking about the people that may see me and be like, oh wow, he's like me and he has these accomplishments. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the Bible wants us to be salt and light of the earth. You know, if salt loses its flavor, I want to associate it with that scripture, because somebody that's in my predicament, or has been, or is dealing with life the way I am, can look at my life and be like, oh wow, he's got ADD, he's ADHD, he's neurodiverse, he's kind of autistic, and he's got a local podcast. What? He's a truck driver. What? He plays guitar. What? He's got a college degree. What? He's married. He has kids. What? I can do that too. So it's like part of my sharing this information too is just being salt and light of those, for one, that don't think that people like me can do it, and mainly for the people that are like me, that may think that they can't do these things. It's particularly for them. And then maybe, I don't know, who knows, maybe my kids watch these videos later on and think back like, oh, this is how dad was. It could be a testimony for them, you know. But yeah, it's encouraging to know that that people like me, people like myself, can get along in life and still be successful. And then too, people from the outside looking in, I started this video out talking about how it's not easy to categorize me, because, and along those lines, I've got different interests. I'm not just the podcaster. I'm not just that. I've got other facets and things that I like. I just started stand-up comedy. You know, I listen to music. I don't just listen to heavy music. I listen to hip-hop music. You know, I get down with that type of stuff. And for some people, if they're just heavy music people, and I've noticed this throughout my life, some of them don't accept you as a heavy music person, even though you listen to heavy music. You know what I mean? Or some people won't accept you as a podcaster because whatever the reason is, because I'm me, you know. And I think it makes those types of people nervous around me, because they're used to categorizing people and being able to put them in a box, and like, oh, you're over here and you're supposed to stay there. And people will act that out. It's called social policing. They'll try to be like, nope, you have to be in this box. And me, most of my life, I'm like, no, I don't want to be in that box. I want to do this. You know what I mean? Or this, I want to do this. Who are you to say that I'm only supposed to do this? Only supposed to, in music's case, I'm only supposed to listen to heavy music, and I'm not allowed to listen to hip hop music or country or whatever. So that it's weird, because it's not me. Like, I want to be who I am, and when I choose to be who I am, and I get in particular social circles in any facet, say it's stand-up comedy, or say it's in the podcast space or in the music space, if I get in any one of those scenes, the ones that are only specific to that scene will I feel like they'll be nervous and they'll try to social police me or try to so that they can feel comfortable. And it's hard to explain, but they do it so that they can be comfortable with themselves. Me, an outsider coming in that has a podcast going into the music scene, some of them will look at me and be like, what are you doing here? You're a podcaster. We don't do that here, whatever, and I've always been like, so what to those people? Because they're not the only ones in the scene. There are other people that might be like me in the scene, which I do get along with, and we have to find those people because not everybody's going to try to police us, social police us, and not everybody's going to try to put us in a box. And I want to say us, I mean people that are neurodiverse, like a bit autistic, a bit OCD, a bit everything that's on that type of neurodiverse spectrum, a bit autistic, all this other stuff. So it's possible, and one of the ways to make that work for myself or for people like myself, find people that are like me. And there are people that are not particularly neurodiverse, they're neurotypical, that may have grown up with somebody like us or have a family member, somebody like us, and will show grace to us. And I find those people super awesome because it's like this. My wife gave me this one example. She's like, it's like those girls in high school. They would see another girl that's, say, autistic or ADD that's getting picked on, and they'll come to that girl's aid. The neurotypical girls would go and fight for her, like being like, what, why are you picking on this girl for, whatever. And then they'll end up befriending the girl. The neurotypicals will end up befriending, the ADHD person because they see that they're being picked on, maybe because they've had a family member, they've had somebody like that, and so they want to be on their side because they understand what they're going through. So the neurotypical people, mad props to them for giving us that type of grace, wanting to fight for us. And they're out there, and I like, I'm thinking of this one guy particular at work who is like that. And he's willing to be like, okay, this guy's like this, let's give him a shot. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of that in the workplace, especially for being ADD, ADHD, that people, they don't want to give you a shot because you're just weird, because I'm just weird. Like, I've been to a job before where I didn't fit the norm. They wanted to social police me. They wanted me to be a certain way. And it's hard for me to try to do that, because when I try to do that, I put myself aside and I become somebody that I don't want to be. And just being myself and like questioning, like a lot of times I question, like, well, why is it like this? How come we can't do it like this? Whatever. Anyways, so there are workplaces that won't give you a chance. And they'll just be like, well, we're not going to give this guy, there we go. We're going to kick him out. We're going to fire him. We're going to get, whatever. And they'll do that. Businesses will do that. And then sometimes you'll land on this, sometimes you'll land on those businesses that are okay. They know I'm like this, and they'll work with me. And I just had a thought there about that. That they'll work with me. So along with that, being a truck driver and having a job or a skill that is marketable, meaning there's a lot of jobs in that area, is good for somebody with ADD, ADHD, or that's neurodiverse. Because if one company doesn't sorry guys, got sidetracked. There was a bug down there. Why did I kill it? No, I'm sorry for killing you. being that I have a marketable job, if I get fired from that job or let go from that job because people may not jive, may not jive with their culture, there's always you can always go to another job, being that skill is marketable. And I think I want to push that for people that are neurodiverse, have ADD, ADHD, or are a bit autistic. Find a job that is marketable, like trades are come to mind. People need another electrician. People need AC. People need plumbing. People need welding. Tons of truck drivers are out there, which is the profession that I'm in. Maybe programming, things of that nature. And another thought that comes to my mind too is I'm a Hispanic. Whenever a Hispanic goes into a predominantly, let's say, workplace that's not a lot of Hispanics, let's say it's like a lot of different type of culture people, that's another addition to the challenge, because you have to be good at it. I'm thinking about like programming or mathematics or engineering, where you go into that field, you got to be good at it for people to accept you. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking right now. I could change my mind. Let me know what you guys think. But anyways, that's that there. Finding a job that's marketable, going into a career that you can go to different. If you get let go from a job because you don't jive with their work culture, meaning they don't necessarily want to work with you because you're neurodiverse, then that's okay. Set aside that job, just chalk it up as an experience. Go to another job that's the same, has the same skill set. For me, it's truck driving. I've had a bunch of different truck driving jobs. Some of them are my fault for getting let go. That's another thing too. When you're ADD, ADHD, you're having to figure out the workplace. And if we've been in school like all the way to like 12th grade, and we've never been in the workplace, we have to figure out the workplace, which is kind of like school, because you still have people that are the way they are, and we have to learn how to navigate the workplace. And social cues comes in the workplace too, because a lot of times some workplaces want you to cut corners, and for me, I don't like to cut corners. I like to do it well, do it good, and there's a huge dynamic in that, because people could feel like they're nervous about their job because you're doing a better job than they are. There's this whole dynamic workplace thing that we have to navigate as people with ADD that are neurodiverse, or people with ADHD. That's a whole thing in itself that I could talk about in another video. But I hope this helps you guys. If you got any questions, comments, or anything that might be relatable to this, or you're going through the same thing, leave it down below. I want you to feel like you can talk about this stuff on my channel with somebody that's like me. But thanks a lot, you guys. Jesus Hilario Show. Appreciate you.
Core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Welcome back to Un-Shuck Yourself, powered by the Corpus Christi Originals Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ben De Leon, and I'd like to start off this episode with a quick apology. It's been a while since I put out an episode. It wasn't for any huge reason other than I started writing a short story and kind of got lost in the process. I won't try and say that I don't have at least a small amount of delusions of grandeur about becoming a writer, someone good enough to be published. And while I don't think that this particular story is what's going to get me noticed, I do think that in order to get better at something, you have to put in the reps. So I started writing, and then I wrote more, And then I started having issues with where I wanted the story to go. So I spent time brainstorming, researching, and changing things over and over again. I honestly had no idea writing could be this much work. Then after the story was done, I was like, there should be more backstory here. So I started writing what some would call lore about the universe I was building. So now I had a story and I was building the lore behind the story. And that's when I finally realized how long it's been since I put out an episode. And I do know how important it is to maintain consistency when it comes to content creation. So again, I want to apologize for neglecting this podcast. But at least I can say I got something out of it. Even though I don't think much will come out of it when it's all said and done, I at least put in the work. So what does all this have to do with the title of this episode? Well, I've asked a few people to read my story and to give me their honest opinions. I asked for the brutal truth no matter how much they think I'll get offended or upset. A few offered their canned, not candid opinions, which I still appreciate, but it made me think how often we ask for truth, but we are always reluctant to give it if it means someone could get hurt. So in that spirit, today's quote is simple, uncomfortable, and probably gonna step on a few toes. But that quote goes, everyone wants the truth, but no one wants to be honest. At first glance, that sounds backwards, right? Most people say they value truth. We say we want transparency. We want authentic relationships. We want leaders who tell the truth, friends who tell the truth, partners who tell the truth. But there's a catch, isn't there? I mean, truth feels amazing when it confirms what we already believe. But real honesty gets difficult when it asks something of us. Because honesty doesn't just expose other people, it exposes us. And that's where most people quietly check out. Just think about how often people ask for honesty. They'll say things like, just tell me straight, or be real with me, or tell me what you really think. I mean, this sounds noble, right? But what we often mean is, tell me something that validates me. Tell me that I'm right. Tell me that they are wrong. Tell me I don't have to change. Because the moment honesty sounds like, you've been avoiding this, you've made that decision, you're making excuses, you've been blaming circumstances. Suddenly, honesty feels rude. But honesty isn't cruelty. Honesty is clarity. And clarity is where growth starts. The fact that most people don't lie to others nearly as much as they lie to themselves, and that's not intentional. We quietly say, I don't have time, when we mean it isn't a priority. We say, I'm waiting for the right moment, when we mean I'm scared. We say, I'm stuck, when sometimes the truth is, I've gotten comfortable. And that's uncomfortable to admit, but in a way, it's also empowering. Because if you're honest enough to admit your part in something, you're powerful enough to change it. Dishonesty protects feelings. Honesty creates options. Now, don't misunderstand this. Being honest doesn't mean becoming brutal or antagonistic. There's a difference between honesty and weaponized criticism. Honesty says, this isn't working. Cruelty says, no, you're a failure. Honesty says, I need to change. Shame says, I am the problem. Good honesty is respectful. It doesn't destroy, it reveals. And when it's done right, it creates freedom. So here's your challenge this week. Ask yourself 3 questions. What truth have I been avoiding? What story am I telling myself that keeps me comfortable? What would I change if I became completely honest for the next 7 days? Not with everyone, just with yourself. Because self-awareness isn't found, it's practiced. I mean, everybody wants the truth, but few people want the responsibility that comes with honesty. But the people who grow, the people who heal, the people who build better lives, they stop treating truth like a weapon and start treating honesty like a mirror. So take one honest look this week. You might not like what you see at first, but you might finally see what needs to happen next. So for now, keep growing, keep questioning, and I'll see you next time on Un-Shuck Yourself.
What's going on, y'all? Corpus Christi Originals back at it again.
Yes, yes.
We are located at Inc. What's the name of your spot, bro?
4701.
4701, Suite 202. Is it Ink Plug?
Ink
Plug. Yes, sir. Check them out. Thanks for letting us use your spot, bro. Appreciate you. We got Les Words.
Les Words in the building, man.
Yeah, from all the way from episode 22.
Yes, yes.
Zoom meeting call. If y'all remember, go check it out if you haven't seen it.
Please.
But we're here to see where you're at now.
Yes,
as
wonderful.
opposed to then. So you reached out. It took me a minute, sorry, to get back to you.
Totally fine.
So I was just like, I was setting up interviews yesterday. I saw you and you just popped up. I was like, yeah, you know what, let's do it now.
Yes, yes.
So come on. So what's going on? How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing wonderful. How you doing?
It's a good day, bro.
Good one, wonderful day. So basically, I just really wanted to share with the culture. First of all, we're gonna start it off like this. Shout out to the Ink Plug. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Without him, there's no me. Without me, there's no him. So let's just get that straight when it comes to the culture, man.
Yes, sir.
We love everything that y'all doing, what we doing for y'all. We have a lot of beautiful things coming. But I want to start this off by saying that from the transitioning period from episode 22, like my man just said, we are going to get able and ready to drop Look Mom, It's Raining. Me, D Green Films. I'm pretty sure everyone knows in the region of where we at, but if you don't know, y'all look that up right now, D Green Films.
Shout out D Green.
We have a lot of things in work when it comes to the videos and the merch that's coming for Look Mom, It's Raining. So basically the concept of the album that that came with that is that, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but so a couple of years, man, I got into a horrible accident, fell 4 stories. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, from a building. You know what I'm saying? And broke my back, my wrists, my feet. Horrible experience, you know? And it put me in a situation where I didn't create any music for 2 years.
Oh.
You know? And a lot of people counted me out to the point where they thought it was just over for me, you know, for my career, for what we had going on, you know? And I could have took this in any direction that I wanted to from the recovery state of where I was going, obviously, right? But I told myself that if I gave enough passion to the music and if I gave myself enough time to recover, that I would come back. I will come back for what was mine. I will come back for what I lost, and I will come back for you. And when I say you, I mean Corpus Christi. You understand me? So not only that have I done that, but I've created a sense of clarity of the new album that we're going with. So the reason why it's called Look Mom, It's Raining, because it first started off as, you know, I felt that my trials and error that was going on with me was just raining so much that, you know, I just felt like I was slipping and I falling and I couldn't get up, you know? But now, right now where I sit on this couch, you know what I'm saying, on this day, I can honestly say that I always meant that the blessings was raining upon me. And I want my mother to see what I've become. And when I say my mother, I mean Corpus Christi, the one that birthed Les Words, the one that gave me this pedestal of who I am and what I've become, and what me and my brother D Green have, how far we have taken it, and what we have given and gave back to this culture. I'm in a humble state to the point where not only if I'm in my prime when it comes to making music, but this is the beginning of the Les Words era that's going to reign forever. And I really feel that not only the people that have been holding me down and really helping me out to find myself, to find where I was at, to find my direction of where I was going. Not only that I did find myself, but I'm here to tell you thank you. Thank you for having patience with me. Thank you for always listening. And thank you for your loyalty. So it's my turn to show y'all why y'all patience will be paid off tenfold.
Nice. What's a hard truth about your life that you finally been brave enough to put in a verse?
No, definitely. I mean, at first it started off with just trying to show that I was still the best, but now it's a sense of a true testimony
Mm.
upon what I am and what I'm not anymore. So not only that this is a beautiful roller coaster that we are preparing ourselves for, right? But right now I feel like I'm waiting in the line for it,
Oh wow.
you know?
Definitely, man. It's yeah, I can get that feeling like 2 years away from music. And dude, you're obviously a poet, man. Like
Thank you so much.
your
Greatly
words are very
appreciate
well
that.
placed.
Yes, thank you.
So that's cool, man, to do that. So obviously you teamed up with D Green. How did that relationship come about? Like, when did you decide, or how did you decide? You know what, we got to get D Green on the project, to make it happen. You know what I mean, for you.
Yes. So the relationship that I have with D Green is shout out to D Green too, shout out to my brother. But he's my brother, behind closed doors. Me and D Green
Wow.
started this off. I've always been the one that has anchored and pedestaled my brother to become a filmer, to become the person that he
Wow.
had the patience to be. I just been humble enough to not just say it, because it really truly doesn't
Yeah,
matter, right?
man. Yeah, what do you have that love for a man, like a man, right?
Yes.
No homo or whatever you want to call it.
Facts.
Like, I got brothers, dude, and there's no other type of relationship that you could have with somebody that's a male.
I understand
Like
that.
your brother, you know
The
what I mean?
brotherhood.
It like, even if you're friends with a female or whatever the case might be, but that with an actual man, like the boys, having that is something that cannot be replaced, bro.
Definitely nothing's bigger than a program.
Yeah, so that's definitely awesome, man. So last album we were talking about was Summer's Ending.
Summer's Ending. That was the last album that we were talking about. A couple of albums have came after that. And we could go down it real quick. Summer's Ending, Winter's Coming, Free Rap Volume 2. Those are the albums that came after Summer's Ending, which is on all digital streaming platforms.
Oh, yeah.
As I say, under Led's words. That's LEDSWARDS. If y'all don't know that.
Yeah, no,
but
for sure.
for the most part though, this is my 10th album.
10th album,
yes,
bro.
this is my 10th studio independent
Holy smoke.
album that came out from my blood, sweat, and tears.
Wait. What 10th album?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how come you didn't stop after number 2 or number 3 or number 5?
Because I'm the best.
Oh.
Because I'm the best to ever do it. There's nobody like me. There's nobody that'll ever be like me. And this is not me being like egotistic.
Mhm.
This is me saying that there only could reign one true tyrant, one true purpose that leads everyone out.
Wow.
It shows everybody the way, and it's me. It's always been me, and it always will be me.
Yes.
I'm just here to claim it. I'm just
Wow.
here to say it and to let everybody understand that I'm not going to be the humble person anymore that just watches everything, tenfold in front of my eyes.
Oh,
I
so
will be the one to direct everyone now. I will give everyone purpose, and I will give everyone the reason of knowing the reason why they stay so patient is because of what I'm about to give them.
hey, that's what's up, man. Man,
Yes.
do you ever? I'm thinking music wise, or lyric wise, or even song wise.
Mhm.
10 albums seems like that's a lot of songs.
It is.
Do you ever feel like you're gonna run out? Did you ever come to that point, like, dang, I might run out?
Oh yes.
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? Like,
Oh,
how do you
yes.
channel that creativity?
Horrible
Like,
feelings.
yeah.
Whenever you're playing it at the tier that I do, it's like you're living in a shadow. Being around Dean Green, it's like, I'm trained and manipulated to feel that I'm the best. I can never be around anyone. Dorian tells me this all the time. I'm everyone's favorite rapper.
Oh wow.
I'm on the phone with probably the people that y'all listen to all day, every day, and they're calling, me or my brother saying, hey, it's hearing any new music that you got, or we can't wait for the album.
Right.
But that's the thing that I'm trying to get to, is that, I don't want to be hidden or gatekeep no more. It's time for the world to experience less words, and it's time for me to stand up for what I truly am, and to claim my rightful position of what I earned all these years, and that's why I'm doing everything. That's why I'm using the initiative and my power and my reach to get there.
Yeah, you're gonna be on the Ride and High podcast too. If you guys want to listen to local, check them out. There also, their interview would be different different from mine, and that's the good thing about podcast culture.
Yes,
everybody's interview is different,
and it's all for the culture. And I appreciate everyone.
Shout out, yes,
Shout
thank
out.
you, Corpus, for sure, man.
For everything.
Speaking of Corpus, bro, how much has Corpus Christi's actual grit and culture has like shaped you or helped you in a way, you know?
Mm-hmm. So I would truly say this. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm gonna share it on this podcast right now. First time, I was not born, but I was raised in Cal Allen. You know, right on the outskirts of Corpus. You know, everybody knows. But in this place called Allenese Gardens, and so I was shunned upon all culture of Corpus.
Wow.
Until I was like maybe a teenage, maybe whenever 8th grade. That's whenever I moved right here to South Park on ABC Streets. And I was introduced to everything that y'all know right now.
Wow.
You know, so when I say that I got a dosage of everything, you know, my first introduction to music wasn't what y'all think it is. You know, it was alternative rock.
Oh, wow.
You know, it was R&B. I was listening to Boxcar Racer. I was listening to Slipknot. I was listening you know, Evanescence and stuff like that.
Shoot,
you know, when everybody was listening to Zero and Screw Tapes and stuff like that. That's what I was doing.
Wow, that's amazing, bro.
And that's what I learned to rap over beats like that.
Yes.
That's why I feel like I became so lyrical.
I love that about our culture, man, that I could be listening to metal one day, next day it'll be some type of boom bap or whatever, you know what I mean? That's me. But we can morph like from metal to rap. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Those cultures, mix those cultures. I love that about Corpus, man.
It's a beautiful thing. And shout out to all the rock bands in Corpus.
Yeah.
I mean, I really honestly feel that Corpus has the best alternative rock sound when it comes to creating our own culture. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. Stand up, everybody.
Yes, sir.
The world is yours, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I had a question. Man, I was recently had another artist on here. We got into the subject of like being like sounding like a Texas rapper as opposed to sounding like maybe East Coast, whatever type of rapper. Do you what are your thoughts on that? And do you feel like people try to put you in a certain category as far as that goes?
I do. You know, whenever I talk to people, I always hear them say that, you know, I sound like I'm not from here. You know, I sound like I'm not from Texas, definitely Corpus. I sound like I'm from up north.
Okay.
Maybe it's just because, you know, it's from my inspiration of the culture that I love.
Yes.
You know, what I felt like I related to. And, you know, some of my mentors that, you know, when it comes to music are, you know, up north rappers, you know, Nas and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But for nevertheless, you know, I don't think anyone sounds like me. You know, I honestly feel that if it came down to it, I probably sound like an East Coast rapper. But I feel like nobody sounds like me. Because not only do I rap, but I sing, I compose, I ghostwrite, I play the piano.
Oh, sure.
You know what I'm saying? I mentorship myself.
Yeah.
You know, and I teach myself. I'm a student of the game. So I don't even know what I'm capable of.
How long did it take for you to find that? To find your I guess your voice. I want to call it a voice. I don't know what you call it, but how long did it take? Because obviously when we started, we emulate a lot of what we hear.
Yes,
right.
That's true.
So how long did it take you to find Les Words? You know, is that how you say your name, bro?
Yes, Les Words.
Les Words.
Yes.
How long did it take you to find Les Words? That particular.
Okay, so everybody that knows me in the city knows that I had a daughter that died. Right. R.I.P. Alicia. You know, but everybody knows that. So before she passed away, and I was known in the city of being, you know, the freestyle king, you know, Letty Led, you know, things like that, you know, when it was fun, you know. But whenever she passed away and I created the Syndicate, which is known of Lord Gang, you know what I'm saying, which is living our real dreams of what y'all know. D Green Films, The Dask One, Les Words, Murph Cam, you know, these cultural shifting people, you know, these people belong to, you know, what I just said. But once I created that, you know, and I created Les Words.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, like some type of like in order for you to have your person, like yourself in the music, you got to put yourself in the music. Right?
No, definitely.
You can't like, you can like cookie cut it, right? But there's no substance to it.
It's no uniqueness.
There you go.
You know, I feel like everything has to be punctual. I always tell my son, you know, you got to say what you mean and mean what you say. You know, no vibration is closer than the truth.
Wow. Amazing.
You know? So, you know, even though that it's an uncomfortable feeling, I love it here. I love it when it's uncomfortable. I love when people think that it's a game. I love when people think that they compare. Because it just gives me the space to show that they don't. You know, it gives me the confidence to show that I could really grasp them. Because the moment that I show what I can do, they're mine forever.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking about like the people that you associate yourself with. I know for sure. When did you realize like, okay, maybe I don't need to have this person around, or I don't need to be around this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, when did you like start understanding that was important for your career?
Shoot. When I moved to Houston 10 years ago. Whenever we're not gonna go on the traumatic experiences of Led's words because we could save that for another podcast. I don't even want this to get like depressing.
Hey, bro, I go deep like right away.
Like,
people don't like that.
Like, I'm about to say something real crazy, but you're about to be like, you know what? Cut the goddamn podcast. Like, this is crazy. But like,
let's talk about the weather, bro.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna go in detail upon why, you know, but everybody that knows me knows that the pain is deep. You know what I'm saying? And it's very real with me.
Yeah.
But when I moved to Houston 10 years ago and I was put in, something happened to me and I was put in a position where, you know, I was lost, and I had people around me where I felt that, you know, I was waiting for them to remind me who I was. And it never came. You know, it just never came. Some people, you know, it's not their fault. Most, you know why you're not here. You know why. But for the most part, you know, thank you. You know, thank you for everything, because the confidence I have in what I'm about to do to the culture and what I become, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes, sir. So what do you want people to, whenever they play your music, your upcoming project? I'm sorry, what's the name of it?
Look, Mom, It's Raining.
Look, Mom, It's Raining.
Look, Mom, It's Raining is the new name of the album, and it will be on all digital streaming platforms, by the way. And we do have some merch, 3D models for the fans, and we got some limited edition things coming. Be on lookout for the new videos that's coming. Repost and share, please. But yes, Look, Mom, It's Raining.
Yes, sir. Engagement, social media, that's how we get the word out, y'all. Clip this up, send it, share it, whatever you need to do. That's how we get our local artists out there, bro. The more engagement, the more comments, more shares, more reposts, the better, bro.
And we greatly appreciate it, because we see everything. Don't ever think we don't see it. Just because we don't act like we don't doesn't mean that we don't. We see everything, and everything that doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you so much for the love.
Yes.
That's to the culture.
Yes, to the culture, man, for sure. Honestly, man, let me get my soapbox real quick.
Okay.
I really didn't realize how much people actually like Corpus and want to put on for Corpus, bro, until I started this podcast. Till I started this brand, Corpus Christi Originals.
Okay.
Because beforehand, it was just me, like, not even caring about what's going on around me or whatever. And then when I got immersed in the people that came in the podcast, like, oh, shoot, they actually care about the city.
Yes.
And, you know, some of the circles that I was around when I was younger is like, forget Corpus. We need to leave Corpus, whatever, which is a bad attitude to have now that I look back.
Very, very true. And because I had it.
Yeah, see,
you know, I'm not
glad
glad
I'm the only one.
No, you're not, and I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. I did fall victim to to one of the people that was trying to run away from the city. That was trying to blame the city of why I didn't have this. You know, they're not supporting me, and you know why they're not doing me like this. They support other bigger people. But the one thing I said, and I said this on your podcast, episode 22.
Check it out,
okay? But I said this, and I'll say it again. One thing about Corpus is that once you get the love here, it's yours forever.
Oh, shoot.
Forever. We're the only city that does that. That's why it's so hard to get it. Just think about it. Think about all these big artists that still, these artists that were big, but they're not no more, but they come down and get $50,000, $60,000 for a show. They're not even on the radio. Haven't been on there for 15 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right now, Little Flick come over here. He could probably sell out a show if he wanted to.
Wow, amazing.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I could see his ass
my
probably
God.
buying a goddamn burger at fucking goddamn Trill Burger.
Yeah, for sure.
You understand me? You know what I'm saying? But you
Yeah.
understand how this shit go down
Oh
here?
my God, that makes a lot of sense.
It makes the only sense. And that's why I always said, don't ever put a timestamp on your time. When it's your time, it will happen. Just understand when it does, it's forever.
Oh man.
And I'm here for it.
That's
I'm
like
here for it,
that's
man.
way more than just views, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
It's called
that-
longevity.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? It's called legacy. You know, I want to know when I'm dead and gone. And, you know, I'm trying to make sure when I'm dead and gone that I don't want no mural. I want them to build a statue of me.
on.
I'm trying to be standing by Selena, put my
Hell
arm
yeah.
around her.
Yes.
You understand me? You feel me? Because that's where I'm going. That's where I'm headed. And that's where I will be.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously there's people that push back. You get pushback from people that may say like, you said that on the last record.
I did. Maybe,
You know what I'm saying? Like there will be that. So what? I guess what's the mindset? My question to people always on this podcast is, why are you the way you are? Like, how do you do this? Why do you continue? Like, oh, I did say it last one. I'm saying it this one too. And what? You know what I mean? Like, how do you have that type of mentality? Do you know what I'm trying to ask?
I do. I honestly just feel like because I'm the best. You know, and I'm gonna keep saying it because I could prove it and I'll show it. You know,
Who would you be if you weren't doing what you're doing now?
dead.
Oh shit.
There's nothing after this. There's nothing after this, and what was before this was a baby.
It's funny because like we find creativity and like we can't not do it.
No, yeah, this is my life, you know. And
Yeah.
just to think that, like, I tell people this all the time, and this is for all the artists that think they're too cool to work a 9 to 5. I'm gonna say something to y'all, and I really want y'all to look at me and pay attention when I say this.
Come on.
Don't get it misconstrued that, oh my gosh, I'm too cool to have a job, or I wouldn't, you know, take care of myself. You know, I call it my real life, right? And I was a whole chef.
Really?
I worked at, I opened up 5-star restaurants,
No
worked
kidding.
on cruise ships for 16 years.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
I had a whole career before my accident. You know what I'm
Dang,
saying?
for real.
Nobody ever knew. Nobody would never know until right now on your podcast.
Oh my.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I have children. I have people that depend on me. Now I'm a natural hustler, and you know, I'm getting money was never the problem.
Right.
But it's about showing. Whenever people look up to you, you have to show them how to take care of themselves. You can't just show them that you could take care of yourself. You know, there's levels to this, and I've always played it at the highest level. So I want people to understand, don't you ever rob yourself from your chance to actually putting yourself in position to really give yourself a fair chance out here. Because if you're waiting for someone to help you, put something in your hand, show love, or whatever the situation, the reason why you're not going up is the reason why you're going to stay down.
No.
And I say that to myself as I reflect it to y'all, you know?
Yeah, we got you, bro. Yeah, for sure. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely.
You if you choose, like you were working a job, right?
Oh, yeah, plenty of them.
That's like humble, bro.
Yeah, plenty of them.
That's like same here, bro. Like I've I've got ADD, ADHD, bro. Like
I hear you on
I
that
can lose
one.
jobs like quick, bro.
I ain't never kept them, obviously.
See what I do is I advocate for people that have ADD, ADHD, or whatever. Get a skill that is gonna be marketable. Like I'm a truck driver.
Okay.
If I lose my job here, boom, there's 10 other truck driving jobs that I can go to.
Very true.
You see
Very
what I'm saying?
true.
So
Yes,
I
yes.
advocate like, look, if you're like this, get a skill that is in demand, bro.
Yes,
That way you can
yeah.
have money.
I do. And listen to my man when he said that. Get a skill that's in demand. And I honestly feel that, you know, it's so many artists out here, even the young bulls, you know what I'm saying? They think they too cool to go punch that clock or do anything to go get some money. Now, it's totally fine for you to risk your life and risk your freedom out here to go and trap your money and go get some studio time. But hey, give your woman a break, man. Stop making her pay all them damn bills. Stop making her pay all her car insurance and all them goddamn lights and putting that food in that refrigerator. Stop eating them baby snacks and get your ass off that couch and get a job, man.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The dream ain't waiting for nobody.
Oh, shoot, for real, man. Grow up.
For real. For real, man.
Get a job.
And
be
especially in the
responsible.
field that I'm in, you know, I play, like I say, we at the highest tier with this when me and D Green. So I see this shit all day, every day, man.
Oh, wow.
I see this shit all day, and you male groupies need to stop it. You feel me? pushing women out the way for a picture. You're making it, you know what I'm saying, your duty to go out of your way to please another man for likes. You know, the shit, it's unnecessary.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, dude, Ledge, you're definitely on another level, bro.
Nah, factual, and thank you so much for noticing.
You on another level, dog.
I
for real.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Has there ever been anybody that's on a, and you're like, oh shoot, man, this dude's got some skill I need to learn from. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You know, it's one artist that I could honestly say, I wouldn't say skillfully because, you know, I'm in my own tier, and obviously if I told y'all this, y'all be like, oh, Lever's full of shit. But, you know, it's one artist that I could say mentally that I am intrigued and I really listen to, and I don't talk that much whenever I'm around them because I like their vocabulary and I like their structure upon what they became before me and D Green and when we found them. And that is Virgil, that is Mexican OT.
Oh wow.
Yes, I do like who he has become as an artist because whenever me and D Green found him and whenever we, you know what I'm saying, started working with him, you know, obviously he wasn't who he is right now. And the transitioning period of who he became is, you know, who I earned to, you know, try to remain to be once the money comes and the fame. Yeah,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
so yes, you know, I would say him. Shout out to Mexican OT.
Shout out, bro. Yeah, for sure. That brings up a topic as far as like money, financial wise, and stuff like that. How do you look at the future that in that perspective of your life? You know what I mean? Like, cause if people have a little bit of money, right?
Yes.
And you hear stories like once they get a lot of money, you know, they make wrong decisions, bad decisions, or whatever.
Very true.
You know
very
what I'm
true,
saying?
very
Like,
true.
how do you? You know what I mean? Do you think about that stuff when you're? I mean,
Yeah, I do. You know, this year I have been, you know, blessed enough where, you know, I've seen enough to change my life, right? And it was my first introduction of, you know, some real money, you know, and enough to see how people actually do change whenever it does happen.
oh,
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, it's an ugly feeling. And it truly does scare me because, you know, I don't give a shit about money. You know what I'm saying? And I don't give a shit about, you know, only thing I care about is security. Knowing that I could do what I want and my family can and my hand is never out. You know, so if that is what the money brings me, then I'm gonna chase that. But, you know, as I see other people, how they act, the things that they do, and how they'll just slime over the people that they love, and just, you know, how they act in public, you know what I'm saying, and how they conduct themselves is a very scary thing.
wow.
You know, but I know I started to learn that I always thought that people change, you know, when they get money.
Oh wow.
But it's never that.
Mhm.
It's the people around you change when you get the money.
Wow.
Yes, that's exactly what happens.
Dang, how do you know who's who?
You never do.
Wow.
That's why you pick who you want to and you just exploit them till you're done. Because they're going to do it to you.
Oh, crazy.
Might as well have fun.
No,
I'm serious.
Wow.
I'm so serious.
Shoot, I was thinking about something there. I'm thinking about the lifestyle that artists have and their music, what the music says. Do you think there's a disconnect, and how much, little or not, do you think there is a disconnect between the lifestyle that they live and what they're actually talking about in their music?
Yeah, I do. I do feel like there's a lot of artists that potentially could, you know, really give the culture a sense of saving their lives type of feeling, and they choose to destroy it.
Oh,
You know, they choose to pick the idle frame of being their lowest vibration whenever they're at their highest of their career, and that's something that I just never understood.
wow.
You know, I've been trying to save lives at my lowest moments. So for me to transition to destroy it whenever I'm at my highest will be just a slap in my fucking face. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
shoot.
So I do not understand why people choose to, you know, destroy, you know, their own culture that gives so much to them. You know what I'm saying? with me, I'm trying to condition, serenade, and reward the patience of y'all choosing me. You know, that's why I say there will never be nobody like me again. And I will lead my people to greatness. I will lead Corpus to greatness. You know what I'm saying? I put this on my skin and my back, and I promise y'all, through all the pain, you did not wait for no reason.
Yes, sir.
Look, Mom, it's raining.
Yes, sir. Check them out on Spotify, you guys.
And anywhere,
bro.
through Telemundo. You know, it's going to be less words on there. You understand me? I appreciate everybody that held me down. And shout out to Corpus Christi Podcast, for real, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really a beautiful thing to know that we're in a place where if you are doing enough in this city, that you don't have to scream it on top of your lungs. Real recognize real, you know? And I appreciate the real always recognizing me. It's just the assurance that I need to know that I'm going in the right direction, and what I'm claiming is not a sense of entitlement and an egotistic thing. This is just me. This is my birthright.
Yeah, it seems like I want to say proud, like you're proud of who you are, like, and you're not gonna change, like you're not gonna change it for anybody, you know. That's what it seemed. At least that's from my perspective.
No, your perspective is right.
You know what I mean?
Your perspective is right.
Yeah, for sure. That's what's up, man. I'm thinking about. I talk about AI a lot on my podcast, different people, and then obviously you get into AI music, and then you get into only certain types of artists getting all the listens on Spotify, all this other stuff. What's your take on the creativity, the creative aspect?
Okay.
Being around with AI coming out, you can just generate a song, whatever, or any thoughts around that topic?
I mean, with the AI, I'm not gonna lie, with the creative frame of it, of using it to the point where like you could generate pictures and different things like that, I love it. You know, it makes things so easy for a creative person like me, because now it just cuts off the middleman, and I could be up 4 o'clock in the morning, my ADHD mind frame. I don't have to wait to somebody to respond to a text or something. I get right there on ChatGPT, boom, 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 boom. Y'all see it, y'all know. You know, the culture love it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to creating what I'm trying to give to the culture, like my music, my pain, my passion, no, never. You know, I think that is something that's going to ruin us as creators whenever it comes to us feeding into, because there's two sides of this music making. There's the artists that do this for clout. You know, those are the hype bees. Those are the people that want a whole bunch of likes. The people that want that look at other people's life and they just want their position. We see them all day, every day.
Yes.
And then there's the Let's words.
Yeah.
There's the people that are, you know, going to set the standard of being the best and great. You know what I'm saying? And I would name a couple of people that have done this at the Tears, and I'm about to play it. You know, before Kendrick Lamar was Kendrick Lamar, he was just a nobody in Compton. You know, before Drake was Drake, he was just doing the goddamn Degrassi in Canada. You know what I'm saying? And for Nipsey Hussle was who he was just a Crip nigga walking on Slauson. Remember who I was and remember what I said when I become who I am.
Man, bro. That's awesome, man.
Yes.
It makes me think of like jazz, like how jazz is like a super artistic thing, and it's like underground, I want to say. It's not pop, you know, and it's not like getting these millions of people eyes on it. It's only for the people, like the purists that understand music, enjoy music and stuff like that. It's almost seems like it's like that for different genres. To say the genre that you're in, I'm thinking rap, hip hop. I'm not sure exactly what genre you're in, but
I call it lossless. I think I'm in the lossless genre. It's a new genre. It's called called
tell me
lossless.
about that. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's called lossless. So basically, it's like the music that's like the folk music nowadays that we listen to. You know, so basically, if I had to give like a couple of names that are like the XX Extension type of vibe, the Juice WRLD type of vibe, whenever, you know, it would be like that type of losses. But I don't do it such in a childish way, where it sounds like I've just go in the studio and take Percocets and sip drink.
Oh shoot.
You know, we're not doing that. You know, we're saving lives when I go in that booth.
Wow.
You know, I played at a tier where whenever you're about to cry right? The feeling of whenever you're about to drop a tear and you cry, but you don't. That's the feeling that I'm harnessing and I'm putting on wax.
Wow. So you want people? So what do you want people to feel? Like, what do you want them to? You know what I'm saying? What do
I
you
want to
them-
save their lives. That's what I want to do. I want whenever people listen to my music, I want them to feel that I made my story their story. That's exact, and that's where I'm going to take it until I don't do this anymore. You know, I really want everyone to understand that not only that I'm doing it for our city and I'm doing it for Corpus, that as they listen to Look Mom, It's Raining, it's all of our story. It's all of our experiences. You know, everything I'm talking about, I promise you that everyone will have something that they can identify themselves with in this album, that they could feel in this album. So basically, it's our testimony. This is our album to the world.
Yeah,
you know. So as you share it and you tell your friends and you tell people, don't say, "Oh, this is Les Worth's music." You say, "This is our music."
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yes, sir. It reminds me of our humanity, bro. Like the community that we have, like that we're having right now, bro. And the people that are watching and can feel that community, sense of community, which is one of the things that kind of the pillar of this podcast is conversation, having conversation with another person. You know what I mean? That may not come from the same walk as you. You know what I mean? You can still talk to somebody that's maybe different from you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for
I
sure.
grew up old school Central City. I don't know nothing about Cal Island. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or South Park for that matter. I'm like Lindell. I grew up Lindell. You know what I mean? Near Ray High School. But just to be able to talk to somebody that's in our city that can have a different culture from us is possible. You know what I mean? Because we may think, oh, them Southsiders or those Northsiders or those whoever, whatever, they're like this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? No, bro. Like, dude, I
like how you said that. I mean to cut you off.
It's all good.
But I like how you said that because I've been seeing a lot of that being like that in the culture of people saying, you know, everybody from the North, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, if we had to say I was from somewhere, I would say there, right?
Right.
Because, you know, that's where my birthright is. That's where my family is, right? So I would say that, but I'm here to say this. I am the barrier breaker of all of this. When Les Words, since I came back, there will be no north side, south side, east side, west side, none of that. You know what I'm saying? I am the Kanye West to Corpus. When I come, I'm assembling the Avengers. If you are the best in the field that you do, you're gonna show up at the ink plug right here, and we're making music because Les Words is here. And God is my witness, and everybody that was here, they will tell you that if you really doing what you say you doing, you in this shop right here and you working. That's how we know that you really who you are, who you say you are, because there's no barriers to creativity. You know what I'm saying? People that isolate themselves are not the best in their field. You know what I'm saying? If you're the best in your field, iron sharpens iron, and I like to be around people like me. You the best, well then show me. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not, we will weave you out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Lion's Den.
Yes, sir. It's hard. It's hard, man, because we're prideful. We're prideful to the point where, like, we don't want to hear no advice from anybody.
Nah, facts.
And, dude, where are you going to get your inspiration from? Like, how are you going to... You can't... I mean, it's impossible, I think, if you're just going at it alone with no wisdom at all from anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you're leading on your own understanding. You know what I mean? That's a biblical term, but, like, you're only in your own mind. I love that, bro. Like,
nah, for real.
I was on the Riding High podcast last night. They were who was it? Creon Martin was interviewing me.
Okay.
So like stuff like
Shout
that.
out to the OG.
Shout out, bro. Like, and I'm learning from that experience how to be on the other side of the microphone because I have always been the interviewer, never been interviewed.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So
That's interesting.
That's the learning aspect for me. Like if I can put myself in that situation to learn something new about my craft. Okay. Why not, bro?
Nah, for real.
Why not? You know,
student of the game, right?
Exactly.
Student of the game. And one thing I want to say about that, you know, iron sharper iron, you know, is that because I feel like I haven't brought his name up, and Lord knows that he is my twin, and I'm so sorry for this. But shout out to Mudgane E. That's just who I sharpen iron with. You know,
Nice.
E Mud Gang, I love him so much, man. I love Lil Bro so much because he played a big factor of waking up the monster, inside of me. Because, when I fell 4 stories and I broke myself, my confidence was like, oh my God,
yeah,
horrible. You know what I'm saying? Being treated differently, just ugly. And when I nursed myself back, E was the first and probably the only person that really came around me and just reminded me who I was, set me down, inspired me, put his pride aside, told me that he always looked up to me, that he always listened to my music, that when he was young, that he was who he was listening to. Not only that wake me up, but it showed me that the culture needs me. The culture loves me. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Mud Gang E, man, for real, man. I can't, I really love dude, man. He really looked out for me when it comes to, just being there as a human being. And I can't repay you enough, man.
Yeah, shout out, bro. Appreciate you, man. That brings up a topic where the culture needs you. Facts. I really like that, bro.
Facts.
Because we can think that, I'm just going to be another. Like, I'll just end up being like this or whatever the thoughts may be, bro. Like, no, get out of your show and go do that creative thing that you want to do, whether it's podcasting, music, whatever, dog. Just because the culture needs that. Put it on the camera, put it on film, bro. Post it, because people could see us and be like, oh shoot, they're kind of like us. I want to do that too.
Nah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
real.
we're influencers.
Yes.
Understatement,
entertainers.
Yeah, entertainers.
All of that.
We're part of the culture, dude, here in Corpus, and it's not just one. Like we were talking about the different sides. It's not just that side.
There's no sides. There's no sides anymore.
There's no sides, bro. Like everybody is. We are the culture, dude.
Facts.
Here in Corpus.
Facts.
And we need to, like you say, stand up, bro.
Yeah,
we got to stand up.
And I feel that, and everybody that has been standing up, I appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Everybody that been setting the bar and showing that they play this game in a different field, I appreciate y'all too. One thing that I can honestly say about Corpus that is, for the 10 years that I've been going in Houston, that it has grown a lot, whenever it comes to the talent in these young people. They're so driven of being famous and big, and they believe it. You cannot tell them that they're not. You know how many times I'll go to the club out for a drink, they'll see me and my brother, hey, we're trying to work, take a picture, and they be like, listen to my music. And I, me, I'm probably trying to talk to a Latin or something. I just chilling.
Yeah.
And they'll take it like, no, remember my face. Remember me. And I feel them, because it's like, pop your shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave a stain in my brain. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Don't ever put yourself in a position where somebody downplays your greatness. If they didn't react the way that they want to, cool. But you let them understand that, you know what I'm saying, that they will remember you. You know what I'm saying? Right now or later.
Wow.
But it might not be in their favor.
May not.
You know what I'm saying?
You still got to keep going, right?
You still got to keep going, though,
Regardless, bro. Because they're going to be out there, man. You're going to have them naysayers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I love them. I love those.
I mean, what would our culture be if we didn't have it?
Yeah, I can't stand a yes, man. I need people to be like, that shit fucking ass.
Yes.
Or fuck Ledward. You know what I'm saying? Or who's Led's words? Or, he's fucking too skinny. Or he's fucking goddamn, his hair is too long. Just tell me something negative.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Because when you do, it leaves a field for me to show who I truly am. It leaves a field for me and my brothers to show that they're the difference between what y'all do and what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we could never be y'all, and y'all could never be us. And whenever you show us, okay, well, it's time to put that up on the board, put it on the table, show your talent, show what you're talking about. Trust me. We will. We will. You know what I'm saying?
Trust me.
We will.
Appreciate you guys. Is there anything you want to share?
I just want to share. Y'all look me up on Instagram. The only _Let's words. Y'all can type in Let's Words on all digital streaming platforms that they play music on. That's LEDSWARDS. Be on lookout for the new album, Look Mom, It's Raining. Shout out to the Ink Plug. Shout out to Mud Gang E. Shout out to all the Mud Gang members. Shout out to all the Lord Gang members and all my bro gods. Shout out to all the artists in Corpus that's doing their thing, and the people that are coming up. You know, anybody that's trying to work with me and get a feature in, please hit me up and understand that I work with all budgets and things like that. I'm not egotistic. I'm not an asshole.
Nice.
But, you know what I'm saying? If I'm around my brother, he ain't going for that shit. So catch me when I'm not around Dorian.
Let's go.
He don't play about me. You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to D Green. You know what I'm saying? I can't say enough about him. And you know, and never the least, man, Corpus Christi podcast, stand the fuck up, man.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes, sir. Stand up, man, guys.
And Riding High, we love you. We love you over there.
Yeah, Riding High. Any other
We love you over there.
Yo, for sure.
All
bro.
podcasts, tap in with us, man. We trying to work with y'all. We
That's
trying to
what's
link
up.
in with y'all.
That's
You know what I'm
what's
saying?
up. Yes,
And my
sir.
man's is taking interviews too. He
Yep.
does interviews too. He wants to tell his story too. You know what I'm saying? So come on, y'all.
Yeah, let's go.
But
bro.
yeah, man, appreciate the love in Corpus Christi. I'm back for you.
Yeah, man, for sure. Appreciate you.
Definitely.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. Man, I gotta I got another episode after this. I gotta head downtown.
Okay, no problem. Man.
But thanks for coming on the show. I can't really think of anything else.
For sure, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah.
And, that we have so much things coming in, and like I said, man, look, Mom, it's raining. The merch that's coming. I got my new clothing brand. My brother Inkplug had the his clothing brand. We will be dropping samples on that. Be on lookout for that. We will be dropping samples for the Karma brand. 3D models for the merch and everything like that, and look out for the new EP that I got coming out with Mud Gang E and me. We're doing a collab with Lord Gang and Mud Gang for me and E, you know, and it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna set the streets on fire this summer, so y'all be on lookout for that. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
do it,
And
let's
shout out
do
to
it.
Icy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to my man Icy. Molly
for
Wap,
it.
I see you.
Go for it, bro. So tell me about Mollywop. I've been hearing a lot about Mollywop.
Yeah.
I don't know too much of the culture you guys are in. I mean, that's why I'm here. You know, get some awareness
Yeah, my
out there.
man's Molly Wap. I done so much work with him, man. That's my bro, man. You know, me and him, we've been working for years. You know, he's on the album. He done a couple of songs on the album. My man's Icy done a couple songs on the album. Shout out to So Gone So Flexy. He done a couple songs on the album. Shout out to TJ Dwan Gotti. You know. I owe you everything, Gotti. for real. Shout out to DJ Dwan Gotti. I can't say it. Shout out to DJ Dwan Gotti. God damn it. You know, I cannot say it enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, So Gone So Flexy. Wake the fuck up. Tap in with us, man. We love you over here, baby.
Dude, is there any okay, you write your own music? Do people write music for you? If you want to shout them out, maybe shout them out. Do you write your own? You obviously
Nobody writes anything for me. I don't even write my own music. Everything's on the top of my head. That's the beauty of what I do. You know, I purposely don't write music. And so whenever people listen to my music and be like, God damn, you know, it was beautiful, I could have the confidence to say, I didn't even write that shit.
Wow.
That's why I say I'm the best. Because whenever people really fall in love with what I do, I get to stand there confidently and say, I did not write this.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah. That's the trick to what I do. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up,
That's why I say I play this at the highest tier. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
No duplication, baby.
Dude, well, dude, you're definitely on another different level, man.
Thank you so much, man.
And man, keep going, bro. 10 albums.
Hey, yeah, 10 albums
out,
strong,
bro.
baby. 10 albums, baby.
Still
you know what I'm
pushing it
saying?
on, dude.
Yes.
Overcoming that adversity. You had an accident coming back, dude.
Yes,
I mean,
thank
that's
you, Lord.
all that is difficult.
everything.
That's rough work right there, bro. That not a lot of people will get through. But you're obviously you're grinding it, bro.
Hey, man, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Thank
sure,
you for
man.
everything, man.
Man, shout out to Inkplug here.
Shout out to the Ink Plug, man.
Thanks
you know
for
what I'm saying?
Thanks for having us at your spot. You guys check them out. Hit them
Y'all
up.
come over here, get a tattoo,
Yes,
come work,
sir.
get some studio time. We here. But understand, this is the Lion's Den, the best of the best. Don't walk in here if you don't think that, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, we really working here, okay? This is not for the weak, man. But everybody's invited, though.
Yes,
Everybody's
sir.
invited.
Corpus Christi Originals, you guys. We're out. Y'all have a good one. See y'all later.
We love you. Shout out to Corpus. We love you, Corpus.
Yes, sir.